backup recording. All good. Okay. You guys good?
Yes.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw you were playing Jusant,
Yeah.
or however the hell you say that. It's like French, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's like French for like an ebbing tide or like a low tide, something like that.
Yeah.
That game, I'm not that far, but I mean, this is funny that I try to initiate small talk and we end up talking about video games immediately. Yeah, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. How's your week been?
No. We're talking about Jusant now.
Oh, okay.
You fucking
all right.
open this can of worms.
All
Bro.
right. Well,
we're
we'll keep moving forward then.
We're doing
all
it.
Right.
I think it's really good. Did you try it? Did you play it?
I beat it yesterday.
Yesterday. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I played it one sitting. Took about 5.5 hours and beat it.
How many chapters are there? Because that's how I've been keeping track.
4.
Oh really? Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, I guess 5. Yeah, I guess like 5.
Okay. I mean that seems. I guess that seems right then, because I played it a little bit like last week. Started it. I finished chapter 1, and just now I got to chapter 3. I'm starting chapter 3, so I'm probably
nice.
about halfway. Yeah.
Yeah, they all go by pretty fast.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I liked my time with that game. It's a fun, neat, little, cute game.
Yeah.
By the time I was done with it, I was like, there's like a lot here. He could have done better. It seems like one of those things. I guess I should have checked, but it seems like a game that doesn't have like a lot of experience behind it. And I believe it is one person that made this game. But
Brother, do I have news for you?
Who's it made by?
It is made by Don't Nod, the studio that made Life is Strange and Vampire. So it's
really?
It's definitely like a smaller studio, for sure. I'm not sure what do they have a head count on? So total Don't Nod across their whole studio is 300 people, which is actually bigger than I was thinking. That was as of 2022, and if
I wonder how big the team was that worked on Jusant, because I could just be getting it mixed up with another game. It definitely felt rough around the edges, though. That's for sure.
I mean, Lethal Company, I think, is literally made by one person.
Yes. Yeah.
But I mean, Don't Nod did make it. I mean, they always kind of, like, studios like this, they'll break up teams and work on different things, right? So it could have been 10 people or whatever working on this, or or they do that kind of strategy of game development where you have everyone kind of working on something at the phase that it's at, right? So like the whole writing team was working on the writing part of this, then it moves on to something else and whatever. I mean, I know game development isn't always linear like that, but yeah, hard to say. I think it's beautiful so far. I mean, I'm interested to see the end. The way you described it doesn't sound like anything earth-shattering happens. So,
no,
yeah, that doesn't.
No, I wouldn't say so.
I remember when indie games for a while there had to have like the big turn, the big turning point.
The turning point is in like a change in like gameplay, or just like a
gameplay or tone. They're like, suddenly this cute game is now a horror game, or all of a sudden, whatever. I mean, movies do
like
it too.
Inscription, kind of.
Exactly. Like all games had that we're doing this now. But yeah, I like it so far. You said something that triggered me because so first you have to apologize. But secondly, please apologize.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. No, it's not like that, but it triggered a thought that I had because the other day I was describing Jusant to Jennifer, and I used the word little to describe it, and you did it just now too. and I realized just how mean that is. It doesn't matter. Like, I understand why. Like, psychologically, I'm like, you're like, it's an indie game. It's cute and small, right? But like, it's so fucking rude because it's like, even in this case, it's like a team of however many people made this thing and probably put like fucking thousands of hours into making it, even though it's like a small game. I don't know. That word, I was like, damn, I should probably stop saying that. Like, it's a little climbing game, and I'm like, oh fuck, that is so like reductive, so diminutive to the amount of effort that went into this. But yeah,
I'll still call them little games.
Yeah,
it's like a 5-hour game, bro.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I see.
With
I didn't
one mechanic.
And what's funny is even when I said it the other day, I didn't even know how long it was. So, but
I mean, it definitely the thing is that it comes off as like an indie game. Like, its heart and soul feels like an indie game whenever you're playing it.
Yeah.
Which I guess is why I got so easily confused. I would have never guessed that it was like a large team that was behind it, or like a large development studio that was behind it.
Well, I mean, for what it's worth, Don't Nod, as far as I'm aware, isn't an independently owned studio. I mean, I think they're publicly traded, but oh, never mind. They're 42% owned by Tencent.
Wow, what a surprise.
So, yeah, everything's a lie now. It's like the Dave the Diver discourse. Like,
bro, yes. I was just talking with Mossberg and like a couple other people, and I was like, wow, like Reddit really doesn't like that game. And they were saying like, oh no, Reddit loves that game, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't think that they do, because every single time I look on Reddit, they're always talking about how they're like, oh, it's not a real indie game because it's owned by Nexon and blah, blah, and like all this kind of stuff. And it's like, I mean, at what point do we just give it to them, right? Like, and only look at the development team, and that's it. Just the like size of the development team.
Yeah, because I mean, go ahead. I know where you're going.
I was just it gets muddy. It gets muddy so fast, right? Because then you can call like Larian Studios as like an indie game because it doesn't have a overarching like publisher that's weighing down on it, right? It's just,
but I mean, even then it was awkward because it got revealed that they have majority, like not majority, it's majority independent, but they have some ownership by another company. I don't remember who it is.
Larian does.
They do, yeah, because they are. Let's see. Sorry, I'm sick as a fucking dog. So if I start coughing,
it's all good. I am too. Going around for sure.
Yeah, somebody did. So they're privately owned. They're not publicly traded, but I don't remember where the. Okay, yeah. So Sven, the guy who you saw at the Game Awards, he wears the suit of armor around and accepts all the awards.
Yeah.
Sven himself owns 62% of Larian, which is awesome. That's cool. His wife owns 8%. And then Tencent owns 30% of that studio. So they owned 100%. They funded it kind of different ways. But yeah, I recently
how much of
read
the funding came from Tencent?
That, I mean, it's impossible to know, right? I mean, 30% ownership is not insignificant, but obviously still technically an independent studio in a lot of ways. I mean, majority ownership is the primary, I think, focus when people look at stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's just funny. Like, that's what's so weird about money now. Comes from anywhere. Like so many studios, they're not necessarily, depending on the country that they're in, they're not even really required to disclose exactly where their funding comes from, right? I think because Larian is in a European country, most of those countries are more clear about the lines. But like in the US, it's like, dude, like everything's locked up, like for a private company. Like they report on their taxes, but you don't really get an idea of funding sources, right?
Yeah, like how the money is distributed and at what percentage and everything like
that.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Who has their hands in what parts of the development process?
Yeah, and even then, tax documents. I'm not sure. Like, I'm pretty sure private companies' tax documents are not public knowledge, right? I wish I knew more about business. As the business person here, I should know more about business. But anyway, we're back. Welcome.
Well,
Hello.
This fun intro about video games brought to you by the Infinite Scale podcast, which is what you're listening to right now. I'm your host, William Chandler, joined as always, Chris Crossley.
What's up?
And back again because he can't get enough of us. He's got to have...
Oh, you know it.
He yearns to have his innermost thoughts broadcast onto the open, unsecured internet.
It's a problem.
Yeah. Chris Merced is here. And he would like to I really feel like of the three of us this year, you played the most video games. Is that like most number, like most, like in raw numbers? We should have done this before. We should have added this up.
Oh yeah, because I could have definitely gone through and added up all the games that I played.
Maybe we'll do that, but before the next one. But
I definitely spent an insane amount. A lot of it was like backdiving though. Like I played Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima are like examples of like games that I just somehow missed out on.
Yeah.
And never got around to. And by virtue of God giving me a PS5, I was able to play those games this year.
You climbed to the top of the mountain and a lightning bolt struck your PS4 and changed it into a PS5.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
So yeah,
I mean, I did a lot better this year than last year for sure. But even then, I don't think I came anywhere near. But that's what we should do. Let's make a mental note before the next episode. Let's all add up what we played and compare Gamecocks with each other.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Unzip them, boys. Wow, we're how many minutes in? Like 10 minutes in, and that could be the title.
Unzip them.
Yeah, unzip them. Drop them. So you're here because we're starting to wind into game of the year talk here. And we felt like what better way than to get video games 2023's leading expert on video games, Christopher Merced, in the house to talk about what he's played. And I think we settled on a format of how to do that, which we'll get to here shortly. But first, I want to ask Chris Crossley, because he said, and I quote, "We got to record because I really got some shit to talk about," and we left it at that. So I'd really like to hear what this is, because I've been on the edge of my seat for a week now.
Well, it's not that crazy.
Okay.
And I also forgot one of the things, but one of the other things that I absolutely have not forgotten is that they're shutting down the Dark Souls 2 servers, bro.
Yes, but only...
You fucking believe this?
Only on last-gen consoles. PS4 and 360. Or PS4 and Xbox One, excuse me. Not the modern ones.
Well...
Not PC.
That's the same...
PC is the only thing that's left.
I was about to say, so just PC. Yeah, so, okay.
Yeah,
I was about to say, it's the same servers. All right. Okay, I guess I didn't know that they're leaving them up on PC. That's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the only platform I don't own the game on. Maybe I do. Either way. What the fuck is going on?
I mean, you forget, but like, from what I recall, the Dark Souls 2 servers were down along with Dark Souls 1. Remember Jesus.
They were all down for a while.
Yeah, was this when Dark Souls 3 came out? It was like everything except Dark Souls 3 was down because of an exploit in the server code or something like that, where they found that people were like breaking consoles or something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I thought it happened closer to Elden Ring coming out, not Dark Souls 3. And I thought they took the servers down for everything, right, including Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Actually, maybe it was Elden Ring. That feels like 9 years ago now. Yes, I've confirmed, thanks to this Windows Central article that is hopefully 100% correct. From Software has announced that on March 31st, 2024, 360 and PS3 servers for the original version of Dark Souls 2 will shut down at 5 a.m. Wow, I forgot that was a 360 and PS3 game. That's how much I don't remember about this. I completely forgot. Yeah, I think, I bought the PC version of that at launch, and I seem to remember it running really poorly. And I was like,
I think that was very true. Yeah,
that was a punishment. Like, I mean, it was. Don't get me wrong. Anything was better than Dark Souls 1 on PC at launch, but
yeah.
Okay, PC, PS4, and Xbox One servers will not be affected. So there's that. And of course, Scholar will be up. I get the feeling this is why. Really? This is, well, yeah, because Scholar never came out on PS3 or 360. So only the original version of Dark Souls 2. This is what's such bullshit about the way they split that game, is that original Dark Souls 2 is better than Scholar. I will die on this hill. And they killed Dark Souls 2 by releasing a quote-unquote improved version on the newer consoles with all the DLC that people now... that's what they did. They took a look. They go, okay, who's actually playing original vanilla Dark Souls 2 anymore? No one.
Wait, just hold on. Pause. You think Dark Souls 2 is better than Scholar of the First Sin?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Is that a common take?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm like the only one. Yeah.
I think you are the only one.
I bet I could find somebody, but as of right now, I think I'm the only one. It's a better game. It's better balanced. Did you play both?
Yeah. I played like an hour of Dark Souls 2, and I played like 500 hours of Scholar of the First Sin.
I'm writing a note that says podcast forthcoming where we both play through Dark Souls 2 and Scholar and compare them.
There's no shot in hell, son. There's no shot.
I'm scratching out the note. No, actually, I'm scratching out Crossley's name.
Well, okay. No, I honestly, the thing I had read kind of put me under the impression that just all the Dark Souls 2, including Scholar servers, were getting shut down. So, okay. This isn't even worth talking about. I'm so sorry. Let's just stop now. Let everybody go home.
No. I mean, listen, this is what we started this podcast because it's basically conversations that we just have anyway. People want to peek inside of what it's like to be in the hot and heavy trio of the three of us. This is what it's like. This is what it's like. Join a Discord call with us on any regular day, and this is what it sounds like. Okay, what was it? So you said you forgot the other thing that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, and it's really bugging me. I'm going to try to look through some stuff and see if I can find it.
Okay.
There is a other thing I read that I guess I kind of wanted to talk about. Did y'all see Nexon got fined $9 million for lowering loot box rates without telling anybody?
I did not see that. No, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
So, you want to go ahead, Crossley? It's pretty fucked, actually.
Yeah. All I know is basically that they got fined $9 million for lowering the drop rates in their loot boxes to near 0%, and they didn't say anything about it too.
Nice. Okay.
That's really all I know. I don't know the super specifics.
I mean, that's essentially what it is. From what I read, the literal drop rates were changed to 0% for a short amount of time, and they were caught doing that. And so, whenever it comes to games that have these types of mechanics, you're going to have people immediately blow an exorbitant amount of money And I believe in what is it in America, you are required to release the actual percentages, right?
Think
For loot boxes.
so.
I could be wrong, but I know that there are some countries that require you to release
Right.
the exact percentages, and then that's essentially what they're getting dinged on. Um,
Okay.
is
Interesting.
that they basically falsely represented the chances for you to get certain loot drops.
Hmm.
And
This is, as far as I know, the first time a company has been caught doing this.
yeah, I think so, or at least a big one like Nexon. Maybe like some small fries have done shit like this and get like their heads cut off. But and also this reminds me, did y'all also see that? I forget what country, if it's like Korea or China or what, but some country is like heavily changing their laws surrounding all this type of stuff, and like I can't remember if they're basically getting rid of loot boxes or they're making it where they're essentially obsolete, but it's like even if you have loot boxes, like you'll have to be able to also sell the things available in the loot boxes in the store and like all this crazy stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. I'd have to like pull it up and find all the shit, but they're
I've never
essentially
understood.
forcing people.
I mean, I guess technically Counter-Strike does that, although the store is player run, so there's like a lot of differences there. But like, I do think that having another way to acquire an item rather than just relying entirely on the loot box is a positive change. I mean, as somebody who doesn't really buy cosmetics pretty much ever, this doesn't affect me one way or the other, but it does not really make sense. Like at the very minimum, all games should be required to have kind of a player trading type of system, I guess. I mean, that might be more controversial than what you're saying, which is just there's a store where it's always $10 or whatever. But I do think the player trading aspect of like Counter-Strike and TF2 made those games less egregious, I guess, about how, like, when you hear people complain about games that sell cosmetics, you don't really hear those Valve games in the list of ones that people are super mad at, I guess, because it feels like no matter what, you, the player, kind of control the value, not the value, but you control like, okay, I buy the keys to unlock these loot boxes, or I can just sell the boxes themselves. I can fucking sell the item if it's worth more. It's not like you get cash back like a slot machine, but you get credit to spend in the store or whatever. I think that kind of shit is really smart. They don't even need to use real currency. I mean, but all games have their own currency now anyway, so there's really no reason to not do this. I don't know. I'm like talking through this right now. I'm like literally having a full conversation with myself.
I mean, I think that you're right though. Whenever it comes to like that sense of agency is incredibly powerful when it comes to like people being able to look over that aspect of the monetization, because I don't know. Yeah, it feels like you yourself are opting into this economic market, right? This fake market that's been created. That's why, like, I mean, shit, dude. Like, if you listen to the way like CS:GO players talk about like skin prices and stuff, that shit, like, that blows your fucking mind.
It's a mental illness.
Used to like, going to like, League of Legends or the vast majority of games where you get skins for your character, like maybe ranging anywhere from $10 to $20, right? Maybe $30, and those are the heavy expensive ones. Then you go over to the CS:GO community, and these guys are like money moguls or some I don't know what's going on over there, because they're talking about buying skins for anywhere from $200 to $1,000, right?
Yeah, CS:GO players must moonlight as like day traders or something, because they have.
I don't know what's going on.
They're like, I bought a knife skin for $300, but don't worry, it'll be worth $350 next week, or whatever. And you're like, what the fuck, dude? All right.
And of course that that ability to like have some sort of sense of control over like how much your account is worth, or how much like these items are worth even. Like it really helps out a lot, especially since at the end of the day, all the prices are going to be set by the community. Essentially, it's just based off of, how badly does the community want these items, and it's going to be priced appropriately because of that.
Exactly what I was like trying to work through just now is I just think it makes you feel like you're the one who is in control rather than being at the behest of just a you know, a roll of the dice, which is how most people acquire these items to begin with, right? In CS2 or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you want something badly enough, rather than spending $100 on keys or cases or whatever trying to get it, you can just pay the $100 and definitely get it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's where Gotcha
Fortnite's kind of always done, right? They don't have loot boxes. They only have skins in the store, and then if there's stuff at the end of the battle pass you want, but you don't want to play the game all the way through the battle pass, you can just spend, I think it is $100 to get the full battle pass and just unlock all of it at once. Which I always thought was a smart way to do it if you like. But so League of
Legends wasn't too bad either. Sorry to interrupt you. I just to get this thought out before I forget. League of Legends wasn't that bad either because they had, I mean, obviously League of Legends is predatory in a million ways that we could talk about, but like in terms of items,
mentally and emotionally.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Merced, do you remember how much it was for like 10 rolls or whatever the fuck, or just one roll even for that most recent thing they had? It was like a lot of money, and the drop rates are dog shit.
One roll ended up coming out to like $10 or something, 10 or $15. So like for League of Legends, right? It used to be like $10 to $30 skins. It still is that way. But for TFT, for that game mode, they have heavily leaned into the gacha system of releasing these really, really cool chibi skins for your avatar. But they literally are only obtainable if you buy into the gacha system. And recently there was one where they've essentially entirely used the gacha system. So if you pay a certain amount, it'll pity you and then you'll get the item, period.
If you do 50 rolls and don't get the item, you'll get it for free, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I believe it came out to like $300 or something.
Wow.
Whenever you put in like 300, then you get pity and you get the item, period.
And the worst part about that is that item, it's not like you can then trade that item later if you don't want it, right? There's no marketplace.
And it's probably illegal to sell your account too.
Oh, for 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's just like,
you cannot do that. Yeah.
Right. So,
not illegal, but against terms of service, you'll get banned.
Right. That's what. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
And then of course, after they have their own currency system, which is in and of itself another predatory form of microtransactions. They have their own currency system. Once you do the math, every single roll until pity is roughly about $15.
Okay.
15-ish.
So I guess I was working off old intel, I guess, but like the last time I played League of Legends, the game, I didn't really play TFT. I did a little bit, but when I played League of Legends, the original game,
the
Summoner's Rift,
the Rift, baby.
Yeah, let it rift. The way it worked was really pretty straightforward, right? It was like you bought skins like Fortnite style. You always had the skins that you could buy. The one thing that I thought later on that they added was really smart was that older skins, they introduced loot boxes that were relatively inexpensive. Like you always got the loot boxes, but then you could craft keys or buy keys or whatever.
Yep.
But there was always, they threw in that extra loot box thing as like a bonus. Like this is a reward. Like, you're going to get something random. It could be really good, could be nothing, but you always get something, out of it. And then at the end of the day, you can always just go to the store and buy the skins. And that seems like a pretty good system as well. Overall, it's all predatory. They're just, I think League of Legends is the game that one game that I spent the most money on.
Yeah.
It got our asses, dude. Like they Riot Games, the psychologists at Riot Games like know all my fetishes, I guess. I don't know. They're like in my bedroom at night.
I pulled it up here.
Okay.
China will ban a swath of common mechanisms in games, including daily login rewards, bonuses for first-time spenders, and incentives to spend repeatedly on a game, which I think is the exact thing we're talking about. Like, buy however many, and then if you still didn't get the thing, you'll get the thing.
That's cool.
Publishers will also be prohibited from offering loot boxes to minors or allowing in-game items to be auctioned or used as speculative assets. Games will need to impose spending limits on players, while publishers will be required to run all their servers for Chinese games in China now.
Nice. Okay.
And then also the thing I said where loot boxes must allow users to purchase any specific item they want directly.
Okay. Yeah, I mean I think those are all good moves. I mean, obviously
additionally, should a game get shut down, the currency must be refunded to the players in real money at the rate it was originally purchased at.
Now that's actually amazing. That should be across the board.
Yes.
I mean, I do think a lot of games and services do that. Like if you have currency still in your wallet, then the game gets shut down early or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But it doesn't. They're not saying that they refund you the cost of the skins and everything that you bought, are they? That might be kind of
I highly doubt that. That would be
pretty wild.
Problematic for the company.
Yeah, that'd be pretty wild. But
I mean, my initial thought in my head was, hey, this is a reason why developers should, rather than shutting down their games left and right, should just have a system in place where they're willing to spend the $5 a month to keep those fucking servers up. Who cares?
It does note that Tencent shares dropped as much as 16%, and NetEase shares were down up to 25% after this.
Yeah,
and that was on that day. I'm sure it's probably even lower now.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's funny because video game studios and publishers were targeting China's huge business, which everyone is because it's a massive economy and a lot of people have disposable income. Discretionary income, I think they call it now. Disposable sounds rough, I guess, but yeah, it's. I do think that a lot of this stuff is really smart, although. I imagine a lot of studios are just going to choose not to operate in China based on these restrictions, right? Like,
it's a huge market.
It is. I mean, like I'm thinking,
especially for these practices.
I'm thinking in particular about what's that game that everybody fucking loves?
Genshin Impact?
Genshin. That's what it is. Honkai Star Rail is the new one. Can't get over how strange.
It's not that good.
Yeah. I mean, I can't get over how strange the story is with those because Genshin Impact comes pretty much out of nowhere, and overnight, everybody fucking loves it. It's like nuts. Like people who don't play video games are insane about that game, and
yeah, that's true.
It rakes in like an absolutely obscene amount of money. That's a Chinese developer, as far as I'm aware. So how must they be feeling right now? Because their entire business model is this, right? Isn't it just?
Yes,
it's just
it's a gacha game to its core.
Who publishes?
That being said,
that
Hoyoverse, something like that, right?
Is it not Tencent related?
Oh, I'm sure at the top. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
it probably is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm
maybe.
Actually curious. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. It might be Nexon. Who knows?
No, it does. I mean, it says MiHoYo is the developer.
MiHoYo, that's what it was.
They also have their own publishing company. It does seem like they have published their own games.
They've made a lot of shit before Genshin for sure. Mostly mobile stuff. $7
billion in assets. They have 5,000 employees, dude. Holy fucking shit! That's massive.
They're pogged out.
Good.
So apparently the new rules and regulations that China was intending to impose on like online gaming monetization schemes might be drafted again, so they might have to go revise them because of the amount of money that Tencent lost.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about I mean, China doesn't want to upset. I mean, Tencent is one of their largest companies.
Yeah, I was really shocked when I was reading it specifically because of that.
So they did release that statement saying they may go ahead and revise it after seeing Tencent's loss of billions of dollars.
So
we'll see how that's looking going forward. I do know that there are some. I mean, some countries are still going to move forward with shit like that, like South Korea. South Korea is still moving forward with a lot of their legislation surrounding different types of monetization. So it seems like that's just the way shit is gonna go. Period. They just gotta fit. They just gotta figure out the best possible way to do it in order to preserve the market, as well as just decrease the amount of predatory practices that have been going on. Because I can't imagine like the Chinese or even Japanese are okay with a lot of their
especially the minors. Like adults, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure, whatever. I guess, but like the minors part is huge. I think for me.
Yeah, I mean it's so much of this type of content feels like gambling, right? Except the reality is that the reality is that with gambling you actually have a chance to make money. So, but I mean, yeah, it takes something that already has a questionable ethical ground, which is an addictive gameplay loop, and then further adds to that kind of moral grayness by throwing in these additional triggers, right? These additional little levers that they can pull to make you, the player, not go anywhere, continue spending money, and still continue to have content that's always available. So
yeah, I feel like the average person, unless you are some staunch libertarian, has the ability to see that it's probably okay if we have the means to restrict this type of monetization.
Yeah.
In terms of just by age, just because it's pretty obvious. Like kids are going to have a lot more problems whenever it comes to impulse control. Like just tend to be more myopic in terms of money spending.
100%.
It's just better overall. At least wait until they're 18, and then they're free to waste their fucking money any way that they want. But at the age of 14, 15, when a lot of these kids are getting their first jobs and everything, I mean, at least give them a chance to not develop these incredibly poor spending habits.
Yeah.
We already have enough of that, so I can't imagine that there would be a lot of people that would oppose that unless, like I said, you're some crazy fucking libertarian person.
Yeah, which I mean, there's plenty of those, so
Yeah.
Fascinating. We'll have to keep tabs on that. It's a pretty interesting situation. I think we'll go ahead and segue into the main portion of the show, which at this point is something that we discussed a little bit. We didn't get together beforehand to really talk through the format, but I think in my head, this is how I envision it. So I do this anyway whenever I'm thinking about talking about Game of the Year. And presumably the next episode or the one after will be our Game of the Year discussion. So I think it's a good idea because I'm going to do this on my own time. So I'd like to do it with you guys and we can talk through everything really quick because this gives us the chance to talk about everything this year, but basically do a year in review, go month by month, talk about the major releases, the stuff that we care about. I'm looking at a list of game releases on GameRant.com, which is so fucking full of ads. I mean, that's just the internet now, but it's a little easier to parse than the Wikipedia list, which is just a lot. But I'm looking at a list of the releases month by month. And I'm going to go through and just pick out ones that I find interesting. If I miss anything or if there's something you guys know that you want to talk about, feel free to stop me. But I get the feeling that it's going to cover everything in here. So, and then what I think we'll do, so we'll start here. So like start of the year, there's a few things, and this is where my ignorance comes in. So like One Piece Odyssey, is that new?
Yeah.
Okay. January 13th,
that's
One Piece Odyssey. You played that?
I did not. I did not play it. I'm not a fan of One Piece. I'm not a fan of One Piece, nor am I a fan of anime. So
This guy's a fucking liar on all counts.
Speaking of anime, Chandler, did you finish Attack on Titan?
Never. No.
Why do you say it like that?
I don't know. Because until you said that, I completely forgot that happened. So now I need to go and do it.
Yeah.
I had been
listening to our old recordings. I know you're a fan of Attack on Titan because you were hyping it up.
I do really like that show, and I actually I'll say this even more than that. I really really liked the manga, because I was one of those people who read ahead.
Yeah.
So
I think if you read the ending, I think they nailed the ending better in the anime, which I was really pleased.
Really? See, yeah. I got so close to the end that it was hilarious, and then waiting for the chapters to come out, I just never went back to it. But yeah, I should do that. You're absolutely right. Okay, so I'm just gonna mention the stuff that I care about, and then if you guys have something, stop me. So on January 19th, we had the upres or remasters, I guess you could say, for Persona 4 Golden and P3P. Which feels like longer ago, but they released on pretty much all platforms this year. I did not play those, but I would like to again. I haven't played them in a really long time. Well, and I guess we have the P3 remake coming out in like a month. Yeah. So at this point, there's no reason to play Persona 3 Portable. But this is where we really start kicking in. So on the 20th, we had the double hitter of Fire Emblem Engage and Monster Hunter Rise.
Well, that was a Monster Hunter Rise re-release.
Was it?
Yeah, it came out on Switch way before that.
Sure, yeah. But I feel like a lot of people, because this was this also the PC release as well? This was like
the PC comes out later
this year. Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't say PC.
I mean, I'm one of those people who, I imagine you played this on Switch, Crossley, right?
Yeah, I played it on Switch and PC.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like having played that game on a PC as well, playing it on Switch sounds fucking terrible.
It was pretty rough, yeah. It ran surprisingly well. Shout out to RE Engine, but yeah, it looked like shit.
Is that an RE Engine game?
Yeah.
Wow, holy shit. Okay.
It's a good engine.
Did you play Monster Hunter Rise, Merced?
I did. I played a good bit of it. I mean, it's good. I think it's a good game. I just don't think it's like it even holds a candle to World. Especially since me and Crossley have now been going back and playing World again.
Yeah.
The difference just in weight and visuals and just the way the game feels. Yeah. It's just I can definitely see if someone were to come to me and they were like, listen, I really like Rise. I just think it's like so much better than World. I would think that they're retarded, but I could definitely see like where they got that, I feel like you think that,
right, Crossley?
Yes.
Okay.
You like Rise more than World?
Wait. No, I thought I agree with Merced.
Oh, okay.
I thought that's what you were saying. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I think Rise.
That's for like the real fans, right? Like I always thought Rise was like the one that, because I remember when World came out, the people who have always loved Monster Hunter didn't like it as much as the new players because they were like, this is for babies. And it seems like
Rise is even more for babies.
Yeah, Rise. So we've actually had this conversation before, Chandler, where Rise is even more for babies because it's even more streamlined and watered down.
I don't think the streamlining has anything to do with it, though. I think it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but they reduced like weapon move sets and things like that in World. Like a lot of those things were cut back. Am I incorrect here? I'm operating off of old knowledge, but okay.
I think
like
and there's fewer types of weapons, right? Like
because no, they actually added more weapons to World.
Did they? Okay, well, and see, even then, what's fucked up is I played World even prior to the expansion, so whatever they added then, I have no idea what that is. But I mean, yeah, that I remember that being kind of a thing that people talked about. But
There's definitely like there's always what ends up happening is they'll take move sets out and then put new move sets in. That happens with every Monster Hunter game though.
They change things around. Yeah.
So that's definitely one thing that everyone has full right to complain about is their weapon getting changed because it's inevitably going to happen.
Got it.
But a large part of the complaints that came for World were things like you can move around whenever you're healing. It's kind of a big fucking deal.
Yeah. Life improvements that make the game easier by proxy.
Yeah. Auto scouting. So your flies basically do the hunting for you. Your whetstones, they automatically you automatically get a whetstone. You don't have to go farm for them. Pickaxes never break. Just a ton of stuff that would essentially amount to a headache for anyone that is just now getting into the Monster Hunter series.
Got it.
I think, me personally, I think it was a phenomenal idea looking back on it now, so many years later, and also having friends getting into the game like just in the past like week and hearing a lot of their comments, because a lot of the things that they'll say are akin to, oh, the controls are unintuitive, which is in my mind at this point intentional.
Yeah.
But the controls are unintuitive. Aiming the weapons is a little bit difficult. Things like that. I can't imagine that these people would be so receptive to those aspects of the game if they also had to contend with having to basically manage every single aspect of your inventory at all times. And also have on average 30 to 40 minute hunts. While having to go on extra missions just to get paintballs so you can follow the fucking monster around.
Right. All of that stuff.
Yeah. It's kind of unfortunate because, like, I mean, Monster Hunter is one of those series that it is, as a somebody who played the first couple and then checked out and then came back, and the new in World, like World is what brought me back in, and even then I didn't like it that much. What actually has brought me back in is a game that we'll talk about a little bit later. But I could see it being near impossible to go back at this point if you played the new Monster Hunters, because I mean, just the ability to move around the map freely is fucking huge. Remember how there used to be a loading screen between every fucking area of the map?
Oh yeah,
holy
that's true.
Shit.
I didn't even think about that.
It's just
that didn't even register to me. Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, I'm with you. I was just curious because I didn't play much Rise. I liked it.
It's good.
I need to play World. I need to play World. So that's kind of
World's phenomenal.
Where I'm at with this conversation. Although I will say the one good thing about Rise is that I think it was easier to do co-op than in World, which is the main thing that
100%. That's true.
User interface and random things like that about World make it kind of unfortunate, and
it's so odd the way that just the structure of everything and the way that they decided to do it is very odd, because all they had to do was just allow you to join in on each other's hunts without them having to watch a cutscene first, and everything would be a million times more streamlined. But instead, what we get is this weird janky mess where you kind of have to like cooperate just to cooperate with each other in the game.
To be honest, I think what they were going for, because everything about World seems like they were trying to try a Western or a different game structure than they usually do. Yeah. In my mind, World is a game that you play through the campaign solo, and then you have basically post-game content, almost like an MMO these days, where you have post-game content that's all stuff meant to be done in a party. And that's how they intended that
was
game
their
to be played.
Design philosophy. Like literally it was, yes.
So, but to me, that's inherently flawed because Monster Hunter by yourself, I'm sorry,
is horrible.
Not that fun. Don't like it.
It's also one of those things where it's like, well, we want you to do the story by yourself first. It's like, okay, well, you shouldn't have made the story 40 hours long then.
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah. Yep.
But I mean, like outside of that, whenever you want to go and play with your friends, assuming they're not doing a story mission, it's all incredibly fucking seamless. At least on PC it is. It's incredibly fucking fast. There's really no need to invite anyone to anything as long as you have your settings correct. You can hop in and out of hunts, hop in and out of like the guided lands that they use, like things like that. So fast. It's it's just damn near instant and it's seamless.
Yep.
So it always makes it super funny whenever you have to contend with the weird story aspect of the game and cooperation. But like
we can't do this for every game because we'll be here all day.
Oh yeah, true. What's next?
Monster Hunter is the only game we're going to talk like that. We've been playing a fuck ton of it recently.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. You guys are.
One thing. I will say, Monster Hunter Rise is essentially Toukiden 2. That is essentially what that game is, and nobody will know this because I'm the only person that played that fucking game.
I think I played Toukiden 1.
We played Wild Hearts. Yeah,
I don't know if I played Toukiden 2, but I did play Toukiden 1, and then of course Wild Hearts, which we'll talk about. I think. Well, we have time for this later, so let's move on.
All right. Okay.
Did anybody play Fire Emblem Engage?
I did.
Yes.
Okay. Hot, cold, lukewarm.
I did not play Three Houses.
Okay, well then now this conversation is pointless.
But
go ahead.
But the gameplay is fucking amazing. The gameplay for Engage is really good. It is crazy how good it is. It's great. If you like tactics games, you like Fire Emblem, this is what you want if you liked any of the older games. Yeah,
it's unfortunate because I did not. I'm going to add it to this list of games that I'm creating on the side here for myself to go back to, but it's sad because I didn't play it this year, and I got scared away because it got a lot worse discussion post-release than, remember, Three Houses was like the hot shit for like a year after that game came out, and Fire Emblem Engage, everybody basically stopped talking about it by March, if even that. So
yeah.
So I ended up not going to it, but I should. Okay. Forspoken, January 24th. Anybody?
No.
Bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Heard mixed things, but it ran like dog shit on launch on pretty much every platform. So that definitely kept me away from playing it.
Yeah. I didn't play it. I don't plan on playing it. Nothing about it interested me. So
nope.
That's a Square Enix game too, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Square Enix had a tough year.
Yeah.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hell yes. That's a great game.
Yeah,
what a fun. That is a fun game.
Did you finish
I would definitely recommend. I got like halfway through it. It's really not a long game.
Yeah, I got about halfway.
But it is. I would definitely, and like even recommend just playing a few hours of it. It's so unique, so fun. You pick it up very easily once you get the groove going. Like it's just a great time.
Pretty charming.
We definitely need more. Yeah, for sure. I think it has like almost like a like mid 2000s level comedy if you enjoy that kind of thing. It's nice. I would recommend.
I was really bad at it, I'm going to be honest. I didn't think I had a bad sense of rhythm. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but I found like the third or fourth boss, I got to a point where I was like, I just feel like I'm not doing this well at all.
Personally think they just didn't nail it. I don't even think it's a you thing. Maybe Merced wants to disagree with me here, and that's fine. But I love rhythm games, and I was really hyped for this game, and I couldn't get into it because I feel like it just didn't feel like, I don't know. It's like it wants me to go 1, 2, 3, and then I feel like that rhythm it wants me to hit to like do very well. One, didn't really match the rhythm of like whatever music I'm hearing very well, and then two, also didn't like match the combos I'm able to do very well. It was like really hard for me to figure out how to do it right, and it's like this weird disconnect too, where even if I like kind of am like, all right, whatever, fuck that, I'll just beat the shit out of these guys, it's like then I do really well and then I get a really poor rating, and it's like, but I did very well. I don't know, it was this weird thing. I just couldn't. I don't know, I couldn't get it. Like,
I think you
maybe
have
it wasn't.
if you're a normal like character action player, hack and slash player, you basically have to unlearn everything that you know, because that game prioritizes being on rhythm more than it does a combo system. Like if you do basic attacks on rhythm, you'll end up doing actually more damage because you're on rhythm than you would have if you're doing like a long combo string, right? It's like a totally different thing. Then you work your way into, like I was watching people much better than me play it.
Yeah.
You work your way into a level of being able to string together combos that seem off rhythm in ways that actually hit the rhythm that they're intending. But I mean, to be honest with you, I from my perspective, I completely agree with you. I had a huge amount of trouble playing that game. Mostly in the boss fights. In the regular fights, it was like fine. But once I got to the boss fight, just the overwhelming visual aspect made it so hard for me to think about the rhythm. And honestly, in some ways, like they let you turn on like the little thing that that adds like a timing meter or whatever, like a metronome. Yeah. It was harder, I think, with the metronome, because then I'm trying to look at that and everything else. I was like, this is fucked up. So I couldn't really figure it out, but I got about halfway and was like, I like it, but it's not for me, is kind of how I felt in the end. Okay. Moving on. Let's talk about a game that I think I'm probably the only one played this, actually. Dead Space Remake. Did you guys play that?
I'm pretty sure Merced played that, right?
Yeah, I played it. Why'd they give him a voice, bro? What the fuck?
What? I liked that.
That's some fucked up shit, dude. No, keep him silent. I liked in the original whenever he was silent. When he was silent, and the only time that you ever heard him like be emotive was after he had just gotten done like smashing in a fucking necromorph's head underneath his boot. Like, and then he's like grunting and like, you know, you can like hear like he's like fucking tired and afraid. Like that shit was awesome.
I don't know, man.
I love that.
I find that, you know, how I can tell if a voice protagonist is good or not is if I find them saying and like emoting the way that I would, you know what I mean? Like, or the way that my head is actively thinking in that moment. There's so many moments in that game where Isaac Clarke is just like, dude, what the fuck? That I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. What the fuck indeed, brother? Like, I don't know. But I can see your argument. I mean, it's a different game. It's they call it remake. It's really like 1.5. Like they changed a lot of shit.
Yeah, and I mean the stuff that they do change is I think like really intelligently done. The fact that they went back, took Dead Space 2's gravity movement, and they were like, fuck it, we're using this and we're gonna put it into Dead Space 1 was incredibly smart. It's a no shit thing to do, but they went the extra mile to do it. And there's like almost every single aspect. They even changed the balancing aspect of the game too. I don't know if you remember this, but in Dead Space 1, you could very easily get through the entire game with just the plasma cutter. And you could only upgrade the plasma cutter the entire way through and you would be broken. They changed that for this game.
They did.
So like, yeah.
I mean, you could still do it. I think there may even still be an achievement for it.
Oh, really? It definitely seemed like I was struggling a lot more than I remembered. That's for sure. As well as not having nearly enough ammo to only survive with just the plasma cutter.
Yeah.
But yeah, which I think all those changes are awesome. They definitely made the right decisions in terms of design for the game, and bringing back the Ishimura to life was done ridiculously well. That's a fucking beautiful game.
God. So I mean, one of the best if not the best looking, one of the best looking games this year. The lighting is fucking insane. Character model rendering is maybe the only weak, like some of the humans, the only like slight weak point, but even then they look incredible. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's I enjoyed that game the moment that I started it. I beat it really quickly too. I think I did like over the course of a couple of days. I was just like, I can't step away from this. Really liked it.
I will say be careful because I soft locked my fucking game one time.
Really?
And it brought me back, yes. And it brought me back like probably like 2 hours because it soft locked, which is partially my fault because I didn't save. But yeah,
Game should have fucking saved, bro. It's not your fault it didn't autosave. You kidding me?
Yeah, I mean there are autosaves, I think, aren't there?
are there? I would
thought
always
so.
boot up from. I would always boot up from the last save, but I mean,
think there are
regardless, that was the
autosaves,
save.
but yeah. Anyway, yeah, I didn't. I'm see, and we're talking about so long ago because I played this at launch that pretty much everything I remember are all the positives at this point. So I kind of don't have like it's definitely not perfect. I feel like I had some issues with it, but in looking at it now, 11, 12 months later, I feel like just really strongly about how much I like that game. And I feel like at this point, in my opinion, this is the definitive way to play. Like I had played Dead Space 1 as recently as a few years ago, and that game's still really good. And I'm sure there's still value in going back and playing that, but like realistically, you don't need to anymore. Like it's not like Resident Evil 4 Remake, which we'll talk about, which is so completely different and not always, entirely better, mostly better, but not always entirely better. That I feel like, those two games, Resident Evil 4 Original and Resident Evil 4 Remake, kind of stand on their own. This feels like it has replaced original Dead Space in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Zero gravity changes were really smart. Okay. Let's see. Life is Strange 2. That was a Switch release. Metroid Prime Remastered. That was this year.
I didn't realize. I'm sure I knew at the time. I didn't realize that even happened. I totally forgot.
Did you guys play
supposed
that?
To be really good.
No.
It's supposed to be really good though.
I played it. It reinforced that I do not like Metroid Prime. Moving on. Here we go. February 10th, Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
You a fan? You big fan?
We got our one Hogwarts Legacy fan in the house.
It was pretty good.
He's putting
the writing is horrible.
The writing is
really?
indeed horrible.
The writing is really bad. The gameplay, I think, is solid.
Yeah, I agree.
Crossley,
what?
For all the hubbub that they had about the transes, I heard that there was a trans character in the game. Is that true?
You can be trans.
Oh, you can be trans.
You can look however you want to look, sound however you want to sound, and choose your gender. So, I mean, yeah, you can role play that.
So why were all these people so upset? Like it was bringing on the next trans genocide?
Because
people just
don't like
want to be
J.K.
upset.
Rowling.
Yeah,
that's not true. I mean, I understand. Like if you feel a level of disappointment about J.K. Rowling's opinions, which most of us should, because I mean that everything about the argument that people have against trans people is so poorly constructed. Like it is so laughable how little this shit actually affects people on a day-to-day basis other than the trans people in question. Like you as a non-trans person or as just a person going about your business, you are so minimally affected by this shit. So it is so laughable that J.K. Rowling feels the need to go on this huge fucking crusade about this. I can understand being disappointed and not wanting to support a game that directly funds her ability to continue going out there and saying this shit, and buying another house or whatever she does with her money. I don't even actually know. She certainly doesn't look good, which is a mean thing to say about somebody, but like, Jesus, I mean, if you're gonna like, I don't know, be a rich person if you're gonna be so ridiculously rich. I don't know, go out and buy some clothes that look good. What are you doing?
I heard that she also made a statement that essentially amounted to if you purchase anything that makes her money off of the Harry Potter IP, then you are in essence supporting her turf viewpoints.
Yeah, I mean, people
Uh,
feel that way. I don't think that because, unfortunately, I think that the
that's what J.K. Rowling said.
franchise of,
Yeah.
but like, I mean, yeah, of course she would say that because she's trying to
Yeah.
create a separation between the people who like Harry Potter and the people who criticize her. Um, Ultimately, I think Harry Potter as a franchise has taken on a life of its own
Exactly.
outside of the creator, in a way that I am understanding if somebody likes Harry Potter and does not like J.K. Rowling. I understand
Right.
that feeling. I understand that stance. I don't like Harry Potter really at all. Didn't as a child. It didn't connect with me.
Yeah.
But I understand that there are people who, if you grew up and that meant a lot to you, I think it's still okay to like it. I mean, I think it's the same with every problematic creator that's ever lived. There are people out there who've done demonstrable harm to other human beings who have created good art. Roman Polanski, whoever, right? All these people that are unquestionably bad people.
Lovecraft's cat.
Yeah. Lovecraft is another example, right? Like,
Yeah.
if anything, I mean, there are arguments to be made about time period and stuff like that where like, okay, well, when Lovecraft was alive, everyone was racist, I guess. I mean, I don't know. But like, that doesn't change how you feel about it now. Feel free. You should feel free as a consumer to spend your money with the people that you think align with your values. I think that's okay.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, the blowback about Hogwarts Legacy, was it over discussed? 100%. Because it basically boils down to people being like, I'm going to spend my money this way. You spend your money however you want, ultimately, and that's fair. But you know what? I mean, I think overall a mediocre game came out of it.
It's okay.
It's a fine game. It looks really nice, actually. I think visually it's really nice.
Yeah.
The gameplay is fine. I think the spellcasting stuff works, but the story and writing and everything about it is so dry and frivolous that it's just like, dude, I mean, the gameplay is not enough to carry me through this whole thing.
No, yeah. Not at all.
So that's probably the last time you'll hear us mention it on Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So you won't be nominating it, Crossley?
No, next on my list. Next on this list, maybe, but not that.
Okay. Next on this list, go. You go ahead.
What do we got?
You read it.
Do we have the same one? Are you sure?
I don't know. I mean, this is in order of release, so
I know. So the next thing relevant for me would be Wild Hearts.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right. What a game, am I right?
Wild Hearts is the most 10 out of 10 a 6 out of 10 game can be. That is the tagline for my review of Wild Hearts. It is beautiful in art direction and design. It is amazing, the marriage of gameplay systems that they've managed in this thing. The Monster Hunter aspect of it, in my opinion, is better than all of the currently released Monster Hunter games. As well as the building aspect is inventive and adds a layer that makes it something unique,
really special.
Compared to just another Monster Hunter clone.
Yeah.
This should be.
Am I about to re-download Wild Hearts, dude? Don't make
honestly.
me.
What's even more fucked up is that I've heard they haven't even fixed it. So
No, they haven't.
Well, they
No.
abandoned it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
abandoned
It's all over, dude.
So, I mean, this game should be in my top 5 games of the year based on how strongly I felt about it being fun. But I mean, from minute 1 that you boot it up, it runs like absolute dog fucking water. It looks like shit. I mean, technically, it looks terrible. Art design and whatever aside,
Yeah.
but
Got style, but yeah,
it's got style. But I mean, looks like an early last gen game. And it plays amazingly well, but it's constantly stuttering. It's so hitchy. It doesn't matter what platform you play it on. Tell the people your story, Crossley, because this hurts me.
Oh man, I don't even know where to begin. But basically, we were having a great time, and we get to like a crucial point of the game that's essentially a huge skill check. It's a very tough monster, and it's a very like long-winded, I don't know, series of cutscenes and interactions that are at the beginning of the fight. And so we were like stuck on this thing for a while, if I recall. And then when we finally like successfully beat it, my game crashed. And I had to do it again. And it was brutal. And then our games like proceeded to crash pretty regularly from there.
Yep.
After we got past that point, it's like the game started falling apart.
It was like a 50-50 shot of whether the game would crash upon
at any moment.
Yeah. Like sometimes at the start of that hunt, I think you and I beat it again, and
we did.
One of our games crashed after that.
I think so.
So
yeah.
Absolutely fucking drivel. Just the potential to love a game has never been dashed more violently than in this case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Atomic Heart.
Yes.
Yeah, Merced played this.
I think it's a really good game. Probably I would give it a 6 out of 10. It's fun. Combat's enjoyable. But I think the main thing is that we got another BioShock-esque game. And I think that those are always incredibly welcome in my heart, no matter what. I would love to have seen this game with I don't want to say proper translation, but with a translation that has a lot more love poured into it, with the intentionality of the original writing, because I think the vast majority of people can probably agree that whatever we got at the very end of all the translations, when it came to the English voice acting and the dialogue, I don't think that the creator's original intended purpose came through.
I agree.
And I think that that's almost evident because the writing, the quality of the writing does not stand next to the quality of everything else about the game. I think that
I think, sorry, not to cut you off, but I think tying to that, the dialogue specifically, because you find a lot of written notes and emails and things like that in universe that are written really well. It's just the dialogue that is insufferable. Like people got really mad about Forspoken dialogue. This is on that level, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is just as bad, if not worse. I mean, it's bad. It's borderline like.
It's definitely worse, I would say.
Like it is borderline unintelligible in a lot of ways. Like there were conversations that would happen, and I'd be like the main character would respond, and I'm like, this guy's in a whole other game. I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah.
Continue. Sorry.
The music's great.
Yeah.
I think the music, the soundtrack got slept on. Go out, download the fucking soundtrack, listen to it. You'll actually really fucking like it. It's really good. Which I guess comes back to what I was saying before, which is that the quality of everything is incredibly fucking high. Is it BioShock? No, but it's still a really damn good game, and I think it's worth almost anyone's time, really, especially if you like those. What's the technical term for the genre for BioShock? It's like immersive simulator.
Immersive sim, yeah.
Yeah, definitely give it a shot. I think if anyone ever sees that game on sale, go fucking buy it. Give it a shot. It's worth your time.
Yeah, I really liked it in the first facility, like getting to the end of that first facility, and then you get out into the open world, and I was like, sorry, I'm just kidding. I hate this.
Yeah, that is a very odd design decision. I thought that was very, very fucking weird. Now that I think about it, because
I
it
remember
does.
you not liking that when you hit that too.
I did not, no. But the Zelda-esque dungeons that you have to go through throughout the game to get to the end, I did enjoy. I think those were very well made. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. And they give you a car like halfway through.
They do.
Yeah, strange. Really strange.
I think around the time that I got the car, or maybe a bit after that, was when I was like, I think I'm okay.
Yeah. And I definitely don't fault anyone for not finishing it. I think you did miss out on a pretty cool dungeon that is similar in Seoul to Clockwork Mansion. Of course, it's not as good because that's like near impossible.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely put a lot of work into the dungeons and stuff that they made. Very good. Good game.
Yeah. Again, something that if I have infinite time, I would go back to, but I didn't like it enough that I think I'll see it through. But I agree, it's more people should make a BioShock.
Yeah,
because I mean, it's a good formula. It's a good style of game. We don't see a lot of them. So that was February 21st, same day, Like a Dragon Ishin.
never played.
I didn't play it.
Damn it.
Sorry.
I got the itch randomly to play the Yakuza games, and I did not follow through on that because the PC port is ass. So,
of which one?
I start with 0.
Oh, PC port is ass of 0, really? I didn't know that. Okay,
it's like it's pretty bad.
I honestly, that surprises me because I played. This was end of last year, but I played the remake of 1. What was that called? Like a Dragon Gaiden? No, like a Dragon.
I think you're right. I think it's Gaiden.
Okay. I don't know. Anyway, whatever the remake of the first one was.
Or was that Kiwami?
Kiwami. Thank you. There you go. Like a Dragon, Yakuza Kiwami is what it's called. That ran really well on the Steam Deck. And I think that came around the same time as Yakuza 0. So that surprises me.
It wasn't taking the correct inputs from my controller.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of weird stuff kept happening, basically.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that's a shame because 0 from what I played is good, and my playthrough of all Yakuza games will continue at some point.
I just feel like it would take so much fucking time, dude.
Only 7 more to go.
I want to do it. I just don't. I can't justify the amount of time spent.
Yep, that's understandable. I mean, to be fair, I think Kiwami took me only probably 20 to 30 hours. So, I mean,
just Kiwami?
Just Kiwami, yeah.
You gotta do that 7 more times, bro.
Yeah, but like that's like 1 Baldur's Gate. You know what I mean? Like 7 more. No. I mean, not really. It's. I mean, that's like playing Baldur's Gate twice, I guess. But yeah. I mean, Baldur's Gate is like 100-hour game.
You'll end up at what? Like 300 like 200 and
something,
what, 20 30 hours,
and even then actually from what I understand, I mean, Cross, I think you played it, so correct me if I'm wrong, but Like a Dragon, Yakuza : Like a Dragon or whatever, the turn-based one, that's like 100-hour game, isn't it? Isn't that really fucking long?
Fucking long. Yeah, I think it's long.
Anyway.
Yeah, you guys are fucking insane.
That's the only one I've played, and I'm good.
You guys with your fucking personas and shit too.
Dude, holy fuck,
200-hour tutorial.
Persona
God,
3. I'm fucking stoked for Persona 3 remake. Okay.
Boobs are mentally ill.
I'm gonna play that. I definitely am, but this isn't the reason why. Company of Heroes 3, I'm the only person who played it. I'll just say that it's not as good as 2 or 1. The order of best to worst still goes 1, 2, 3 for the Company of Heroes franchise. So, but it's a cool game. I like that people are still making real time strategy games, and there should be more of them.
It will see a resurgence eventually, at least in the single player market. I mean, Tactics is still having games made for it. Hopefully, there's a resurgence for real time.
Yeah, I agree.
Single player market.
And I think there kind of is a little bit. More than I've seen more strategy games coming out recently than in like 10 years ago, for instance. Like when StarCraft 2 was dying, it seemed like that people were like, well, that's it. Pack it in, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sons of the Forest. You guys play this?
Nope.
February 23rd went into early access, I think, on that day. So it's still in early access as far as I know.
I think it either just announced its 1.0 or has released its 1.0.
Okay.
That game definitely should have stayed in the shadows for a bit longer.
Yep.
It felt half cooked.
Got it.
So, while it was fun for what it was and what it presented, it definitely left you feeling like you were playing half of a fucking game. So I would not recommend.
Maybe when it comes out, you revisit it.
Yeah.
Octopath Traveler 2.
Let's fucking go.
It's a great game. I mean, shit. What? I don't even know if there's like a whole lot to say other than it's essentially a better version of Octopath Traveler, which is already a fantastic game. Octopath Traveler 2 is essentially the exact same thing. It really depends on how you play it. I haven't beaten it. I haven't beaten it yet.
I want it to last forever.
It lasts a long time.
God fucking damn.
Bro, let me see. Because if you want to do, there's 8 stories, Crossley.
I know.
What?
Let's look real quick.
Octopath
Traveler 2 average. Yeah, do you get it?
8 paths. Travelers. 2 travelers. Yeah.
So it says 60 to 61 hours.
All right, that's fine.
That's your average time.
That's not the best, actually.
Not as bad as you would think. But
in the first one, I feel like I hit that time point and I couldn't see the end, and I was like, "Holy fuck, I'm gonna end my own life." But if that one caps at like 60, that's good.
I know that I put at least like 80 hours into the first one.
Yeah,
So this, I don't know. I don't want to say that this time might be misleading.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, same game, more refined. Battle system's better. Characters are really up to you if they're more interesting or not. But it follows the exact same frame. So if you liked Octopath 1, you'll like Octopath Traveler 2. Great year for JRPGs, by the way.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking about it.
Absolutely agreed. Okay, I think we're moving into March now. Excuse me. March 3rd, Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Anybody check it out?
Hey, I played that game.
Did you finish it?
No, I did not, because it was not very good.
No.
That is definitely pretty far down there on my list for this year. The game just feels about as inspired as a burger. That's the best way I can put it. It'll get you where you're going if you like Souls-like games, but you're definitely not going to find anything new, transformative.
Hold on, there's really good burgers out there. That's kind of mean.
That's what I'm saying. But they're not like very well inspired. The average one is not.
Yeah, would you say? I see what you're saying. So this is like a mediocre burger. This is like a middle of the road. Like it's food.
This is not even. This doesn't even touch your like McDonald's burger.
Okay, got it.
So,
which is very high praise for me.
I mean, it really all depends on how you look at it, right?
Yeah.
If you're wrong, then you would say something like that.
Understood.
But
so if you appreciate the advances that science has made for gastronomy, then McDonald's.
Hold on. I've lost the thread. What are we comparing to a burger again?
Wolong.
Okay.
So
hold on.
It's like a McDonald's burger.
So
it's got to be.
Are we saying Wolong is a good burger or it's just an okay burger?
It's an uninspired, worse than okay burger.
Okay, that sucks.
That's
what I expected.
It's worse.
So I just want to make sure.
It almost offends you because it is just like so many other burgers that you've had before, and you still paid for it.
Yeah.
That's why it's offensive. Almost as if you could go back home and make one yourself.
So
thank God I have Burger Pass, so I didn't have to pay for that burger. Holy shit!
Yeah. So if you had Burger Pass like me and Crossley, then thank God, because this game is a McDonald's burger out of 10.
Okay, I fucking resent that. McDonald's burgers are very delicious.
This is actually how we should
McDonald's burger. I love
this
McDonald's
is how we
burgers.
should actually rate our games.
So you're saying it's like a -1 or -2 on the infinite scale.
For sure.
This is the burger scale now.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay.
-1, -2 is a solid place for it to sit at.
Fascinating.
Not worth your time. Do not buy it. Do not even download it.
I might check this burger out on Burger Pass, honestly, because I feel like I just need to see what you're talking about. Especially because I just finished a different Souls-like, which we'll talk about later. But
it's not going to be entertainingly bad. I'll let you know that.
Okay,
it's just
great.
Not a good game, but yeah.
Well, until recently, I was pretty convinced that every Souls-like is a pretty bad game. So, let's see. I feel like much of March was pretty uneventful.
Resident Evil 4 remake.
We'll get there. Anybody play Chia?
What?
What is Chia?
Okay.
Oh, Takia.
Takia.
No, I have no idea.
I think this game actually looks really sick, and I'm sad that I totally missed it because it came out, 2 days before or 3 days before Resident Evil 4 remake. Yeah, I think this game looks cool. I did not read reviews at the time, or maybe I did and I've forgotten, but this is something I should check out, but I doubt I'll have time before a Game of the Year discussion, but it's like an open world thingy. It reminds me of Wind Waker.
That's
honestly, I'm looking into it right now.
I have not seen anything about this game.
Yeah, I completely missed this. Is this a single player little adventure?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I didn't know this was real. Okay. I'll keep that on my little radar.
Merced has walked away. In case you guys want to know how the sausage is made. Okay. Let's talk about RE4 Remake.
Yeah. I haven't played, so please give me your thoughts. I remember you streaming that in the Discord, if I recall right.
Yeah. This when this came out,
yeah,
I actually thought upon finishing this game that RE4 Remake would be my game of the year.
Yeah.
I was like, March 24th, fucking lock it up, fellas. There's no way.
It's understandable.
There's no way anything could be better than this. RE4 Remake is a human achievement. It's a fucking triumph. It's like landing a man on space on the moon, sending a man through space, putting him on the moon is like a distant second to Resident Evil 4 remake. No. Game's really fucking good.
It's great. It's
Game's
phenomenal.
I mean, at no
It's amazing
point,
how fast it goes by.
dude. Yeah, I mean, it's a long game. They made it a lot longer than original Resident Evil 4, and even then, it goes by quick. I think it's just immaculately paced. It's so fucking tight. At no point are you playing something you're like, they could have left this out.
Bro, that's the thing too, is that I remember playing the original Resident Evil 4 and there being a lot of portions of that, or not a lot, but there's a few key portions of that game that do end up feeling like slogs and you are
Yeah.
not having a fun time.
Yeah.
They did a great job of determining what they wanted to keep in and what they wanted to take out, and they did it perfectly.
And they even added stuff.
Yeah. Still, I have to deduct 1 point because they did not keep in Salazar's walking giant robot.
Yeah, they did not.
And the QTE to escape him.
Yeah.
I thought
there are 0 QTs, as it turns out.
that was a blunder. That was horrible. Why would you take that out?
Yeah, it's true. I agree. Why would you?
I wanted them to keep in all of the kooky, wacky portions of the original Resident Evil 4, and they took it out.
You do not have to run away from a giant boulder.
That shit's hilarious.
Remember the boulder at the start?
Oh yeah, the boulder. Wait, is the boulder not? I forgot about the boulder.
The boulder's not in it, no.
Fuck.
So, yeah, I have to deduct a point because the merchant does not say the line.
What are you buying?
Yeah.
Galvin Wheel, Galvin Deal.
Does he say, I don't remember, does he say, I'll buy it at a high price? I don't think so. I think he has a different line. I don't remember
him saying that.
I think he has a different line for that.
Because I remember selling him something that was worth a lot of money and he didn't say it, and I remember being really disappointed.
He does do the thing where he goes, "Oh, stranger," whenever you sell him something expensive, which is great. But
I mean, you gotta respect the guy, though. I mean, he's got to change over the years. The kind of guy that is just a traversing mogul like him, always in the right place at the right time.
No, wait, I was actually just about to say, we agree that it's like 50 different brothers, right?
No, I think it's the same dude. Do you actually think it's different people?
I don't, but I want it to be that. I want it to be.
They all share the same cloak.
Yeah,
it's all a different person, but they're all wearing the same. No,
they just went to the same cloak store.
No.
Yeah.
You got a traveling merchant like these guys? They know where to pinch some
so you're even saying these guys, like multiple guys now.
I mean, like, let's take a walk down this path.
Okay, all right, okay. I think the likelihood that this one guy could constantly outpace you, like, he has to pack up all of his wares and then get to the next place that you see him at where you're gonna buy shit. That's not happening.
He knows the lay of the land, dude. You haven't been here before.
I guess maybe he has a tunnel.
Yeah, he has an intricate tunnel system.
A merchant tunnel. He's like a fucking groundhog.
Exactly.
He burrows through the land, creating exits somehow into the castle. Isn't he? He's on the island, right? At the end, when you're on the island, theoretically, there's no fucking other way onto the island.
There's nothing stopping this guy from selling you some more 9/11 ammo.
This man is the ultimate capitalist. He goes where the market is.
The video game.
Oh yeah. Okay. Dredge. I played Dredge. Anybody else play Dredge? March 29th, end of March.
Unfortunately, I have not played it yet.
Okay. I'll just say I think Dredge is pretty good. I liked it. I liked playing it. I liked the vibe of it. I understand all of the problems with it, which there are many. Namely that the game is basically one mechanic stretched across its entire runtime. Throw in some pretty mediocre mini games, and there you go. But I think the world and the atmosphere and just the vibe of it is really well done, and I really enjoyed playing through it. I think that they have something here. If they wanted to iterate and make an even better game next time, I would support that. I think it's really cool. So, let's go to April. April. I'm having a tough time in April seeing anything other than 2 games. So, 3 actually. So we basically cut through the first half of April here, going straight to April 21st when we have the double hit home run of Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp and Dead Island 2.
I did not play either of these.
Yeah, everything in April is a miss for me.
I honestly, Dead Island 2 was one of those things that I brought up in passing, and you told me the game was already out, and I had no fucking clue. And I continued to not learn a thing about the game.
Had Beepal not begged me to play this, I say begged, begged in the way that Beepal does. Beepal doesn't actually ever ask someone to do something. He just heavily suggests it to you.
Yeah.
Beepal asked me to play Dead Island 2 with him, and I did. That is the only reason I bought that game. Honestly, it's actually okay. I think it's pretty good. I liked it. Yeah,
how did
I
it
thought
sell?
It was cool.
Did it sell very well?
I think pretty good, given how unlikely it was that game was going to be a success. I think it ended up doing all right, but I actually don't know the answer to that question. What's up?
Merced, did you play the Horizon DLC or no?
No, that's something I've been meaning to get around to.
Okay, because that came out in April.
Yeah, I skipped it because I wasn't sure if that was if we liked that. I didn't like Horizon, period. So
I think it's a phenomenal game, and I think everyone should play Horizon, both of them. I think they should buy them twice for both Steam and PlayStation. Those are good games, bro.
This man has stock
Those are legitimately
in Guerrilla
good games. And Aloy is very pretty. And Guerrilla Games also made Killzone. We should support them.
You just had to throw that one in there.
We got an argument the other, not me and him, but him and somebody in VC were arguing about Aloy being pretty or not.
I like Ashley Birch. I think she's cool.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
The world building.
I definitely need to play the DLC because I heard the DLC is pretty good. And adds on to the original pretty, like, a good bit, substantive bit. All
right, guys, let's fucking move on to a real video game. Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. This game fucking rules.
You don't even
What'd you like about it?
I played a shitload of it.
What stood out to you?
Okay. Well, not the art, because that sucks. It looks really terrible. And I found myself complaining about it the entire time.
This is the one that made them look like little plastic toys, right?
Not even
it
really.
Just moved to 3D style.
It just went to like a 3D from pixel graphics, like a pixel 2D style. But poor choice there. Everything else about this game is fucking awesome, dude. Like, it is truly just old Advance Wars again, but it turns out those games are actually still amazing. Better than Fire Emblem. I'm saying it. Better than Fire Emblem, I think. Always thought, but this reaffirmed that for me. Like, every single time they'd make a new Fire Emblem without making a new Advance Wars, I'd be like, God damn it, why don't they make a new Advance Wars? I swear to God, those games are better than these. And I liked Fire Emblem as well as a kid. I had the fucking GBA ones. But, like, this has reinforced that idea. Advance Wars 1 fucking rules. I played through the whole thing and on a vacation over the course of like a week and a half. Absolutely loved it. The Switch is perfect for that. The Switch OLED is great because this only tickles the battery life of that thing. It's great. Great game. Did not play 2 yet, so I guess I can really only say Advance Wars 1. But
I might pick it up.
Love it. I think they added online play to it as well.
Oh shit.
Next
up, the full $60. Do you know?
It's Nintendo, dude.
God, kill me. All right, what's next?
Is it? Did you look it up?
Yeah, I believe you. Oh, let me see. Yep, it's $60.
Okay, all right. There we go.
Jesus
Fucking
Christ.
Nintendo. Okay. They got to support the war on Ukraine, dude. That's where all this money's going, remember?
I forgot about that. Hell yeah, support my brothers.
It's not actually. That's a fucking lie. But remember, I don't know if you remember, but the controversy behind this game was that it was supposed to release like within 2 weeks or something after the war in Ukraine starting. And so they delayed it indefinitely because they felt it was in poor taste to release it.
Oh, was that them?
Yeah.
So then they
fucking
just
retards.
so they held this until now, basically, and that was what happened. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah, so it was supposed to come out like over a year ago, a year and a half ago, and then they just kept delaying it until it came out in April of this year. So, yeah, man. So that's why it's $60. They had to fund just sitting on the code for a year and a half.
So if they felt like it was in poor taste, right?
Yep.
Because of the Ukraine war, does that like basically mean they don't give a shit about like African children going to war with each other? Like shooting each other and blowing each other up?
This is like a joke me and Chandler made at the time. We're like, so this game's just never going to come out then because there's always going to be a fucking conflict happening.
Right?
This is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because I mean, then that means that like, yeah. Because right now there are children in Africa shooting at each other and killing each other. But they felt like it wasn't in poor taste to continue releasing it now.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying it seems a little racist. I don't know if
it was a weird choice. I think I agree. At the time, I don't know if I agree for the same reasons that you're saying, but I'd like to distance myself as far as possible ideologically from what Merced thinks. But I do think that yes, it is a dumb reason to delay a video game because there is constantly horrible fucking wars and violent shit happening no matter what year it is, no matter when you decide to release a video game. It's always a bad time. This is the awkward part about living in countries that do not experience constant conflict, is that you get to play video games about killing people and not feel bad about it. Congratulations, here we are. So I don't know. I mean, it's something that it's funny that they made a stand on this one thing because then they released this. When did the conflict between Israel and Hamas or I should say Palestine, I guess, begin? When did that?
I guess Hamas is more appropriate. That's on the October 7th.
Okay, so this was still a while before that. But yeah, and I don't know. It was just strange. It's just really strange. Yeah. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. This game's in poor taste because it features a oppressed class, the Jedi, on the run.
I heard this game is good.
Yeah, this game is good. Yeah, this game's good.
I didn't play the first one, so I feel like I need to do that before I play this one. So I just never bothered.
Yeah, you probably should. You would basically, all meaning of this game would be eliminated if you did not play the first one.
Did you play the first one, Chandler?
Of course I did.
How do you feel about the assessment that it's kind of a Star Wars Souls-like that people kind of throw around?
The first one, or I mean, I guess both of them at this point.
Yeah,
I actually disagree with that. It borrows exactly two things from Souls-like, which is a stamina-based combat system and bonfire finger quotes system, if you want to say that. But other than that, it's not really a Souls-like. It has a lot more in common. It's a Souls-like in the same way that Hollow Knight is a Souls-like. Honestly, it's a Hollow Knight-like. they're like very similar. It's a lot more Metroidvania than
it is a very big Metroidvania. I feel like
yeah. I mean, I thought that man, this is actually tough because Star Wars Jedi Survivor I think is a better game than
first one.
Yeah, what the fuck is that game called? Star Wars Jedi.
Jedi. Star Wars Jedi.
Shit. What's it called?
Fallen
Order.
Jedi?
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order.
Bad name.
Lost,
Bad name.
Lost Boy.
Okay, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Very good game. At the time, I think it hit a lot harder because it was such a cool concept and it was so shocking that it was well done.
Yeah.
So shocking that it was as good as it was. A lot of things that were frustrating about that game. Fallen Order, decently difficult game, even on the default difficulty. Like, I mean, in certain points, right? Like the difficulty curve fluctuates. This game, even more in that direction, really, really wants to challenge you with a lot of the side content and optional stuff, which I did a lot of it. So there's some pretty challenging fights in this game. Jedi Survivor, better in pretty much every single way, except for the one way that I think a lot of people will feel the most, which is story.
No, don't tell me that.
I think the story of Jedi Survivor is good, but it is a middle chapter, and it is so clearly a middle chapter that it just bums me out. It is like...
Didn't you say it cliffhangs?
It is 100%. Yeah, I mean, it basically is a cliffhanger. I mean, cliffhanger implies that nothing that like the term cliffhanger, you know, probably is a lot more loaded than what this is, but it's basically just I don't know this yet because I don't know what role 3 takes, but in a 3-act, like if you're imagining like a 3-act structure of a story, this is such a middle, like a lot of it feels inconsequential by the end. There's some good character development from characters in the first game to characters in this game. I really like that. I like Cal well enough. The supporting cast is better than him and always has been, and again here they are as well. The main villains, of which there are actually 3, which I think is fucking sick, because they just keep, I mean, shit just keeps going. They're like, no, this conspiracy goes deeper, big dog. Like I like that. But yeah, this is the most mad I got at a game this year, I think. Is Jedi Survivor as well. Like playing it. Like there's a particular fight with an optional boss that made me foam at the mouth in anger. But I think for those of you who have played it, it's a gigantic frog. So there you go. But in a pit somewhere. But yeah, I think this game's cool. I really like it. If it didn't run like absolute fucking dog shit on launch, I probably would have enjoyed it a lot more as well. My computer was like really, really struggling. And I think the same could be said for the console versions as far as I'm aware. I think all versions got patched, but I think PC was the worst for sure. And supposedly now it runs a lot better. So highly recommend it. Play Fallen Order. It's a great game too. I really like them. All right. Well, now we're actually just going to talk about our number 1 game of the year, which is Redfall. Came out May 2nd.
Fuck yeah.
Of course I'm kidding.
Let me know when we get to June.
I guess you looked ahead and didn't see anything in May.
Yeah.
Did you I'm trying to remember, who did I play Redfall with? Was it you guys?
It wasn't me.
I didn't download it. No.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't even try it.
I guess maybe it was. This is the weirdest trio of people, but I think it might have been. Was it like Mossberg and Mason?
And probably. Me? I think Mossberg played it. I don't know anybody else.
I did play it a decent amount. The game's bad. I think they're patching it. I'd be curious if they could turn it around. Honestly, I want to think that they can because Arcane is really talented. So it's a shame. It's a shame for them.
It's not Arcane. It's Arcane like something.
Yeah, there's Arcane. There's 2 Arcane studio. Well, there's actually I think 3 now, but there's Arcane and there's Arcane. Yeah, and Arcane Austin are the 2. I believe Arcane Austin made this one. Is that correct?
I don't remember.
I get them mixed up.
Yeah.
The company that did Redfall is or the branch that did Redfall is not the same branch that had their hands in Dishonored 1 and 2, I believe.
Well, no,
Correct.
because it actually gets more confusing. So we're going to go through this. I know we went through this, I think you and I, Crossley, when we talked about this the first time. But, okay. Arcane Austin made Redfall, right? Arcane Leon made Deathloop. Okay.
Mhm.
Arcane Austin made Prey, which is a phenomenal video game.
Oh. Yeah, that is a
Absolutely
fucking great game. That's a
phenomenal
really, really good game.
video game. They list the developers of Dishonored 1 as Arcane Studios because there may not have been two studios, or at that time they both worked on it, which is possible.
Yeah.
From what I remember, Dishonored 2 was Arcane Leon. It was. So, and then yeah. So, I mean, there's obviously a pedigree here. Both Arcane Studios are supremely talented. A lot of studios who make bad games feature a lot of talented people. So that's not new, but it's a shame that this came out the way that it did. I can only assume that this was a result of Microsoft publishing this and saying this game has to come out. We're not going to bankroll this anymore. You guys can release it, make a little bit of money, and then continue to work on it. They should have put this out in early access or something like it. I mean, they should have just said, hey, this is our early access game. I think it would have been received a lot differently if that had happened.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I didn't play it, but I mean, like, just all the reception surrounding it was completely negative. I don't remember hearing a single good thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't play well. It's not ready. It feels like the skeleton of a video game. It is. It basically, the structure is like the Division. It's the Division. Same structure. Like, you have a home base, you pick up missions, you talk to NPCs, you have side quests, there's loot. It's that game.
Mm-hmm.
Just really poorly done, poorly executed.
Yeah.
It makes me so fucking sad. Arcane is better than this for sure. So I want to see them turn it around. Darkest Dungeon 2. Anybody play this?
Yeah, I played a good bit. I at least beat the first like campaign, quote unquote, for Darkest Dungeon 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's really solid. I definitely I think it's one of those things where it's funny because you're gonna have a bunch of people who really, really love Darkest Dungeon, and just because you like that game does not mean you're gonna like Darkest Dungeon 2, and vice versa. So I would still say give it a shot, of course. Yeah. But yeah, just be aware of that fact.
I actually think I'm curious because as somebody who didn't really like Darkest Dungeon 1 that much, just because of the structure of it, I'd be curious if I'd like this one more.
Yeah, they took out a lot of the aspects that a ton of people really loved about Darkest Dungeon, which was a lot of the party management and a lot of the actual dungeon crawling aspects of it are essentially gone. But yeah, the aesthetics are amazing. It looks fucking awesome. The moment to moment combat is the exact same, just more refined. Yeah, I think me personally, I would rather have the dungeon crawling aspects back. I think that they messed up there. I don't like the whole, like, you get in a carriage and you basically drive from one node to another node to another node, and it does it in like a Slay the Spire-esque map.
That's kind of cool.
So yeah, you go from node to node to node, and you essentially choose whether you want to stop off at if you want to stop off at a battle point, if you want to stop off at I don't know, maybe a decrepit fucking church and see what that gives you, etc. Cool. So yeah, that's the way they decided to do it rather than going with the dungeon crawling aspect. But yeah, yeah, good game for sure.
You might have just convinced me to check it out. Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. It's Breath of the Wild again. Let's move on. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I mean, actually, though, I have nothing.
Literally.
I have nothing to say.
Everybody's really stoked about this game. It makes me feel like I'm insane.
Here's the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Show me one.
I think it won Game of the Year on a few outlets. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's that. It's.
I think those people are soy and delusional.
Dear God.
I think that they don't know what a good game is.
It's definitely the Nintendo Game of the Year.
Yeah, it's Nintendo syndrome. It's
I
all
actually
the
even disagree with that because the Nintendo,
I do too, but
Nintendo Game of the Year
It
is fucking Advance Wars 1+2 reboot game.
I thought it was Mario Wonder.
Not for me. It's not. Okay.
It's
Okay. So that's pretty much it for May, actually.
Is it my turn?
Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah. Oh, well, System Shock came out on May 30th.
Yeah,
Which,
but we didn't play that, sadly.
Still need to play it.
No one played that, but I bought it. I have every intention of playing it. I think I actually will get around to that. That will happen at some point. As somebody who really likes System Shock 2, I never really got into System Shock 1 because of just how impenetrable the interface and the control scheme of that game is. This is a way for me to finally do that. So I think I will take advantage of that. Okay, Crossley, go ahead. I know you want to talk about Street Fighter 6.
Street Fighter 6. Yeah.
Okay. Is that
It's
it?
good.
Or did okay.
Yeah. It's good. Good fighting game.
Great game.
Yeah.
Probably one of the, if not the smoothest fighting game launch ever. It's and it's Street Fighter. If you like Street Fighter, play it. It's just
Nice.
great from
I
top
don't.
to bottom. Everything about it is really well done.
Diablo 4.
Diablo 4. This is also a 6 out of 10 game. I think.
I feel like this game was like very contentious for I think the wrong reasons. I know a lot of people had a problem with the amount of content in the game. I don't know about y'all, but I put in like 60, 70 hours into that game.
I think all three of us played the shit out of that game at release.
I don't
and
know that I
then
did
of
that
course there
much,
was
but-
nothing.
Yeah.
There was
You beat
nothing
the
left
whole
to do.
game.
I did beat the game, but I think I mean, don't get me wrong. I will not complain about lack of content in that game. I think it was fine.
Yeah.
But I did finish the game. It probably took me 30, 40 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, I think these greasy Cheeto dust having Diablo 4 criticizing people need to get the fuck out of their house and go touch some fucking grass. If your main contention with the game is that there wasn't enough content.
Yeah.
I just felt that the actual gameplay itself just didn't feel incredibly inspired. I think that that's a perfectly fine thing to criticize the game for. It doesn't exactly do anything all that new, crazy.
No, it doesn't break the mold at all.
If anything, it feels like it took some stuff away from us, only to put it back in later. So, still good, still solid, but
that's I guess my issue with the game really in a nutshell is that it made me come to terms with the fact that I've changed and Diablo has changed, and I don't think I like Diablo anymore. I guess like I'm fine with it.
I think is okay.
I'm fine with it, but the reward for playing Diablo is the ability to play more Diablo.
Yep.
And I don't like playing Diablo enough for that reward to be worth it. So that's kind of where I end up with it, I guess, is
yeah, I agree.
It's a good game. It's a good game. I know a lot of people are happy with it. I know a lot of people are not happy with it for a lot of various reasons. I think the balancing for classes probably could use some work. Which is funny because it's not like there's a bunch of classes, so I don't know. But but I don't know. It's one of those things where this is a spoiler alert, but we're gonna do each of us have a top 5 this year, and it would not make a top 5 for me. And it on the run up to its release, it definitely seemed like it was going to. Like I was excited. It looked really good. but it just didn't. I didn't get that warm and fuzzy feeling, guys. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I guess the thing is that held me over for like 60 hours, but it's not like I felt all that much.
Exactly.
It's a very good game to have a podcast or a show or something else on, but by no means would I ever play it and have it be consuming all of my attention. That would be near impossible.
This is fucked up, but I think I would rather play Destiny 2 if I was going to play a loot game.
I agree. I mean, I agree with that.
I mean,
but I think Destiny 2 is like a very refined.
It's a way better video game.
Yeah, it's just a good game.
I mean, it's a good game, but I guess like Destiny 2 had a lot of issues with a lot of the same things that Diablo 4 has, which is, you know, everything around the core gameplay loop being lacking, right, in Destiny 2 as well. But the core gameplay loop of Destiny 2 is as close to perfect as it gets for a shooter. It's just everything else that sucks. So, yeah, I don't know. Amnesia the Bunker. Nobody played this. I would like to.
I did not play it, no.
Game looks fucking awesome, but I think I can only, this is one of those that I can only play if I'm streaming it, because otherwise I get too scared. Alien Dark Descent. I played a bit of this. It's a really cool idea, but I actually had issues where this game was crashing a lot for me. Not really sure why. Seemed like a memory leak kind of thing, where like over the course of playing a level, performance would get worse and worse until eventually the game just crashed. Kind of sucked. I lost some progress and didn't really feel like redoing it. So, is that the top-down shooter game or no? Do you remember Full Spectrum Warrior?
No.
Full Spectrum Warrior is a PlayStation 2 and Xbox original game about controlling like fucking a squad of soldiers through like the war in Afghanistan or some shit. Anyway, loved it as a kid. This is basically Full Spectrum Warrior but aliens.
Oh.
It's a real-time tactic game where you just control like four or five people.
Bro, it's $10 on Steam.
Full Spectrum Warrior owns. I don't know what the port is like. It's backwards compatible, I know, on Xbox, and I think it's on Game Pass, but yeah, I'm not sure what that port would be like on PC, but that game fucking rules. But I like military stuff. So anyway, Final Fantasy 16 Crossley, let's go.
You know, I've heavily debated trying to finish that before we have this Game of the Year conversation coming up.
Yep, same.
But yeah, I don't know. It's so close to incredible in a lot of ways, and really has lost me at the middle here. Like the middle is so uninteresting that I can't get myself to push through it. But I think the first third of the game is really strong.
Where did you leave off?
Really, really strong.
Have you played any of it?
No, he hasn't.
Did you intend to or no?
No, not really.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Crossley. Where'd you leave off?
Yeah, I think shortly after you get Titan.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is that really the middle? Okay.
If I'm not near the middle, I don't want to finish this game. Like,
no, I meant to. In my mind, that seems closer. Like, I feel like I was in like the last fourth of this game, and I seem to remember not being that far from that. But I definitely made it decently past the Titan part.
Yeah. It's the thing is, I'm a couple hours past Titan now, and it has not picked up at all. And I'm like, dude, I am multiple hours, multiple quests past the last interesting thing, and nothing else has happened in a story heavy like action game. Like, are you kidding me? And yeah, I was just getting so fucking bored. I don't know. I have to be close to the next cool thing, though. I really, really, really want to try to push through it. But
yeah, it has a big downturn at a certain point, and then
yeah.
But I never really felt bored. I guess I just it's weird because the highs are so fucking high. Like the big story moments in that game are so unbelievably
Accept the truth, bro. Accept it.
Awesome. I mean, all that stuff is so good. that it makes the downtime seem that much more fillery in comparison, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
That's kind of where I'm at.
But the
yeah.
last thing you want is like a Final Fantasy Call of Duty game where it just is pedal to the metal for the full,
I think I
runtime.
would really love if this game was that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do think that the character stuff does need to happen. They just need to find a better way to do it than in fetch quests and like side quest stuff. But
Yeah.
To my mind, that's pretty much it for June. So
I think I had. Let me look real quick. Am I in June right now? Wasn't there something here? Hold up. No. Final Fantasy. Dave the Diver.
did that come out? Did I miss that somewhere?
Yeah, it's June.
What day? I don't think I have it on here.
June 28th.
Crazy. Yeah, it's not even on this list. Wow. This guy hates indie games.
That's fucked. Dave the Diver was great.
Yeah, I own it and haven't played it yet, but I would like to.
What is that game?
Yeah, give it a shot. What isn't that game, brother? Let me tell you.
That's what I've heard.
The amount of ways that game will touch your soul, your emotions, provoke you mentally, challenge you physically. Just the full spectrum of the human condition is touched just within 10 hours of playing that game. Really though, I can't say it has like a specific genre. There's so many different things about that game, and it really prides itself on having like a ton of different mini games, even mini games for the mini games. I would say just play it. It is really like an experience.
Okay.
It's 2D restaurant management sim combined with sort of roguelike diving and scavenging. It's the best way.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Cool.
Very, very cute though. It's a very cute game. Not little. It's not
I remember
a little game
people
at all.
being very shocked at the breadth and depth of the content. Like it's just kind of keeps going. And like there's always story stuff. Like there's always very surprising amounts of story stuff in it. Is what I heard. So I need to play it. It seems like the perfect game to play on a Steam Deck.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think Tran also played. He said he enjoyed it a ton, which I'm glad. I definitely think. I think more people should play it. It's fun. It's great. And like you said, it's perfect for like a handheld. So
July. Exo
Hold on, brother.
Okay.
Oh,
okay,
wait, no, you're right. July. No, sorry.
Exo Primal. No, I'm just kidding. Pikmin 4. Anybody play Pikmin 4?
I forgot that happened.
Okay, great. Moving on. Remnant 2.
Yeah.
I think this game came out of nowhere for a lot of people. I did play Remnant. Did you guys also play Remnant 1 or no?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I was very excited when Remnant 2 got announced. I was like, holy shit, they're doing another one. It might be better.
Yeah, I thought Remnant 2 or Remnant 1 was okay.
Yeah.
Beepal fucking hated Remnant 1. I played Remnant 1 with him, and I remember him just being like, this is terrible. And I was like, it's not that bad. Like, it was fine. Remnant 2 is better in every conceivable way.
Yeah.
And not even just better. It is one of the strongest playing games this year, for sure. Some of the world building and design is really nice. Punching way above its weight, I think. I think special shout out goes to some of the puzzles here. Like shockingly deep levels of like puzzle depth, I guess, for a shooter.
Yeah. And I mean, shout out to them having some of the best like Easter eggs and well hidden secrets too. Like the way you get to the back rooms is really intricate. And that's just one thing.
Yeah, I didn't even know, or maybe I did know, but hadn't recorded to memory that there was a back rooms in this game. So,
yeah, we talked about it before. Yeah.
That's right. I do remember you mentioning that now. I need to finish. We should finish Remnant 2 at some point.
I would love to play more. Game. Yeah. Trans City's down to game today when we're done.
Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, we're in August now. August
Wait.
3rd. What?
I just want to mention, because I don't think any of us have and probably won't play it. I might one day, but it's like $40, so maybe not. Disney Illusion Island is a Switch exclusive Metroidvania that is apparently really fucking good. And I'm so curious, as someone who loves Metroidvanias.
Yeah.
I just don't want to spend $40 on a Switch game I have like no confidence in, basically. But
yeah. I heard good things about it. I as I understand, there's no combat. It's literally just puzzle solving.
Yeah,
which sounds cool.
Yeah, it's a Metroidvania without combat that is apparently good, like really, really good. I've only heard great things.
Yeah, I agree. I have heard that.
So interesting. I just wanted to point that out. Anyway,
Baldur's Gate 3, August 3rd. Merced's very excited. I have a tepid excitement for this game. Good game. Yeah, good game.
Great game. Fully deserved all the awards that it gets and then some.
Good game. I think the level of quality of this game, it's like Dark Souls 1 in that it just constantly descends down a staircase with each hour that you put into it. That's not fair. I think
yeah, that isn't fair at all.
The about the end of Act 1, early Act 2 is like absolutely peak this game. Like all of Act 1 is really damn good. End of Act 1 even better. Early Act 2 even better. Like 10 out of 10. And then by the end of Act 2, you've like hit a plateau, and then it just goes down from there. I mean, Act 3 is a mess in my opinion.
I think Act 3 is still phenomenal. It is the worst act by far. Whether that is from them just not completely finishing it or whatever the fuck, whatever reason that they have. Act 3 is definitely the worst act. But, I mean, the best of, or the worst of the best, it's still good.
Yeah.
I still really enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't know. And plus you get to see a lot of different storylines and stuff come to fruition.
Yeah.
Or at least get to see them to the end, right? It just feels really, just having that alone in the third act makes it feel really, really good.
Absolutely best character writing and voice acting of the year in Baldur's Gate 3. Pretty much across the board.
It's awesome, dude. I love Shadowheart.
Yep, all of them are great. I had a awkward playthrough of this game, but I haven't even finished it technically. I'm like 2 hours or so from the end, if even that. But so I don't even know what happens. So I guess I can't comment on the story per se, but in general, the story is it's good. It's not great, right? But the character writing, the world building, the arcs of all of the characters, your arc as a player character, everything that happens in that game is just really well done. It's one of the most impressive in terms of scope that came out this year for sure.
I mean, for sure. In terms of like choice,
yeah, unbelievable. Just how many outcomes, how many choices, how many paths. All of it's considered and well written. I think that if you play this game neutral-ish to like slightly evil, things fall apart in a lot of ways, because they just didn't consider or didn't put as much work into being not completely evil and not good, but only kind of evil. There's not really a satisfying slot to be in there, but otherwise though, I mean, really great game. It will certainly be in a top 5 for me, probably number 5. It's a good game. It should be number 1 in my opinion. Be better. It should be better.
My God.
It buckled under the weight of its own goodness. I didn't play Atlas Fallen.
That game looked interesting.
Yeah, it did. I got pretty middling reviews, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know who the developers were. They made some other middling game.
I think it was actually the original developers of Lords of the Fallen, the first one.
Oh, really?
I believe so. Yeah.
Huh.
Or something like that. Or it's the studio who did the Surge. I can't remember the pedigree. If I look it up, it takes 10 seconds to look it up, but I don't feel like it. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, heard good things, didn't play it. Immortals of Avium, didn't hear good things, didn't play it.
Nope.
Would actually like to try it just out of curiosity.
Are you
I am, yeah.
down the list?
No. I'm just mentioning things that I think were relevant, I guess. But did anybody play Blasphemous 2?
Was there anything?
Wait, did I miss
No.
something? Is that why you're asking?
Yeah, right after Baldur's Gate is Starfield.
Starfield's in September, dude.
Wait.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know. After this thing I have right here, it says Baldur's Gate and then Starfield. Weird. Huh. Okay. I don't know why it says that. Well, my thing had Dave the Diver, but it fucked this up.
No
I was like,
worries.
damn, he really did Starfield dirty. But,
Yeah, that thing also skipped Armored Core 6, which is in August.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even have any idea why it. Yeah, I had it right here.
Did you guys play Blasphemous 2? Yes or no?
No.
No.
No, none of us did.
Yeah.
Pretty good game. I hear. I didn't play it either, but people like it. I'm curious to try it. I didn't love Blasphemous 1, but I could see them making some improvements and me liking it.
Yeah.
Armored Core 6. I did not play this.
Same.
I'm the From
What?
Software man, and I did not play this.
That's a good game.
Did you finish it?
Yeah, well, I didn't play all the endings, but
Okay.
I guess I beat like technically like the first campaign. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. They kind of fucked up on the balancing a little bit, but which is kind of a big deal when it comes to like a highly customizable mech game. So I just went in with dual shotguns and basically fucking murdered everything.
Cool.
But it's shit. I mean, it's incredibly satisfying. They do a really good job of, having the mechs have a sense of weight while not feeling like you're so restricted in your movement. It definitely feels like Gundam-esque style mechs, like not your Western heavy mech warrior type shit. So it feels really cool to like fly around, and also customize your mech, make it look cool as fuck. It's about what you'd expect. It's not like it's gonna do anything crazy. So if you like mechs, I would definitely play it.
They apparently added some ranked matchmaking and more PvP maps recently as well.
I didn't even know there was PvP. That's nuts.
Yeah,
there is. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick this game up, actually. I should have done it. Why didn't I do it during the Steam sale? Was it on sale? I didn't even look.
Yeah, it's funny the variations that you can run into in multiplayer. Like you have like your variation that's just kind of like you got a sword and you got guns and you fucking shoot each other and slash each other. Tran ended up making one that's basically a fucking AC-130 that almost never fucking touches the ground, and it just flies way above the map and shoots at you. Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
There's like variation. There's a lot of neat variation that you can mess with, and of course is like promoted a lot more for multiplayer than it is for single player.
Sea of Stars, haven't played it yet, but I do own it. Did you guys play it?
I own that game too.
I have played it. I want it to be good so bad.
Okay.
I've tried the tutorial, bro. It's so long.
Oh, okay.
It's so long. I think I'm 2 hours in and I'm still in the like prologue tutorial-y thing that's holding my hand really hard, and I just couldn't do it.
Okay. That's a shame. I would like to try it. I feel like it looks cool. I love the art.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a shot one day.
It probably is good, and I have to be at the end of the like prologue, and I just need to get it over it. But I am really bad about handholdy segments. Really, just hate them. I know how to play a video game. Fuck off.
And that's August. Moving into September, right off the bat, September 6th, we have Starfield.
Let's go.
Boo. Boo.
And
Boo
now
Todd Howard.
you, the listener, have experienced all of the Starfield discourse possible in this 13-second clip. No.
I mean, where do you even want to start with that fucking game?
I mean, I think
We
it's
have a whole episode on it.
What a boring fucking nothing burger disappointment of a game, Todd. You should be fucking ashamed of yourself. This is supposed to be your love child, and look what you fucking did.
Starfield is a McDonald's burger. A McDouble, even.
Yeah.
McDouble.
And they tried to sell it as something else. And then
It's
I
more
realized,
like
wait a second, this is just a fucking McDouble.
They tried to sell it as a Big Mac, and it's actually a McDouble, yeah.
No, Starfield's a fucking fillet of fish. That's what it is. Starfield's
actually
ass.
You know what? I went to buy a McDouble and then I got a fillet of fish, and I'm like, wait.
Starfield,
like
right there.
By mistake?
What the literal fuck?
They gave you a fillet of fish? Damn, they just gave you the
They
wrong
knew they were giving me a fillet of fish. They told me they were giving me a McDouble. They knew.
They just grabbed the wrong sandwich. That's for sure.
No, that's not what happened with this. They knew what they were doing.
Damn.
Starfield is like.
What'd you say to them?
Yeah, what did you say?
I said, this isn't bad, but it's not what I wanted.
Was this like a drive-through situation, or were you there so you could like rectify the situation? Yeah.
I would have turned around.
I was using Burger Pass, so I don't really know what you. I think it got delivered to me.
I hate you so much. Did you wait? We're talking about the McDonald's thing. Did this actually happen to you, or no? You're memeing.
No, I'm talking about Starfield.
God damn it! You thought for sure that he was comparing it to a situation that actually happened to him, right?
Yes, yeah.
He made it sound that way.
This actually happened.
He made it sound that way.
Happened.
You're a fucking asshole, dude.
Dude, if McDonald's ever did this to me, I would never eat the fillet of fish. I would throw it in their fucking faces.
You're a fillet of fish. God damn it. Okay.
Not true.
Starfield is like if you went to Sonic and you ordered a extra long coney, and instead of the sausage, you just got nothing but tater tots instead.
Wait, but you said
with chili on it.
You ordered a hot dog with tater tots and chili, right? Meaning like you wanted them in addition, and instead you got a hot dog with tater tots in place of the sausage and chili on top, right?
Yes.
100%. Honestly,
100%.
That's an understandable mistake and sounds pretty fucking delicious.
And I mean, I still ate it, so I guess it's par for the course with Starfield, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Starfield is enjoyable in a lot of ways. Unfortunately, none of those ways are what I'm looking for from a Bethesda game. I mean, the way in which it is enjoyable is if you stick to the script and you play the main story and the side content, you will have a decent enough time. It is pretty fun. It can be addicting. I probably put 60-ish, 70 hours into this game. It can be pretty addicting. The core loop is of the combat is pretty satisfying, more than pretty much any other. I would say on par or better than Fallout 4, which was already gameplay-wise a decently solid game. Just the writing, the world building is solid, but the writing of the individual characters and the dialogue is just
at least
so
the ones you're
bad.
surrounded by, like the ones in your immediate vicinity, are all so
bad.
much worse than maybe a few other ones you meet that are kind of cool. But yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
It's all bad. It's really unfortunate. I think that the ending intrigue of that game is cool, but none of it serves like the grandiosity that you should feel the moment when you decide to move on to another universe should be crippling. Like imagine if a moment like that was in like a Skyrim or something. you like, or even better, like a Morrowind or Oblivion, you would feel it, like it would hit you because you'd be like, God damn, I enjoyed being in this world. But like when you get to it in Starfield, you're just like, yeah, all right. I mean, yeah, it's they could make this game better. There are things they could do. There are things they could do that could make this fulfill the promise. But yeah, very disappointing overall, I would say.
Yep, I agree.
Yep.
Not much to say about it that hasn't already been said.
Yeah.
On God, for real, no cap.
Thank you, Gen Z correspondent Christopher Merced. September 19th, Mortal Kombat 1. Do you guys like this? The fighting game people like this.
The fighting game people did not play it.
No, they were playing Street Fighter.
I already spent my $70 on Street Fighter.
Did you skip Liza P?
Street Fighter? No, it's the day. It's the same day as this.
Oh, okay.
Mortal Kombat 1 is is Street Fighter $70? Is Mortal Kombat 1 $70?
They're both $70.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah. What you would think are like the cheapest games to make. Yeah.
I mean,
$70.
Yeah.
I know. I'm saying on paper. I'm not saying they're actually the cheap. Yeah.
But I'm with you though. Fighting games tend. I mean, I get the least value out of fighting games, so to pay $70 would not be worth it to me. But I love
Street Fighter, man.
Yeah, it's honestly only to support the franchise, or I never would, honestly.
Mortal Kombat does have a very good story mode, from what I understand. I mean, I liked. Was it X?
Yeah, X
was good.
X moving forward are all following the same narrative.
Yeah. Honestly, they're all good.
Yeah.
All the more. I mean, I'll pick it up eventually.
They're very well made.
Yeah.
I own every single fighting game basically. But I just pick them up way later down the line.
Yeah, for sure.
Lies of P, same day, September 19th. Really good game.
I mean, yeah, just really phenomenal game.
We haven't talked about this at all, but
yeah. So how did you beat it?
Yeah, I did. A couple days ago.
Nice. With what's his name? Master of Puppets? Is that his name? Fuck.
Nameless Puppet.
Nameless Puppet, yes. So you beat him?
I did. That was painful.
Yeah. To me, he was like the right mix of difficulty though.
It was. By the end, it was good. I mean, man, the first couple of times I fought him, I was like, how in the fuck? Like, I mean, especially after a fight I would say is also decently hard. Manus.
Yeah.
Manus? Mollus?
I think it's Manus.
Manus is
Simon?
Dark Souls. Is it Manus
Isn't
though
his name
as well?
Simon?
Maybe
I
it
think
is.
so.
Yeah, Simon Manus. Is there Simon Mollus?
I think it's Manus.
Fuck. Well, Manus is in Dark Souls, remember? Anyway, okay.
Maybe it's intentional.
It might. I mean, it probably is.
Yeah, his name's Simon Manus. I just looked it up.
Okay, nice. Yeah, decently difficult fight as well. They love two-phase fights.
Yeah, for
too
sure.
much. They love them too much. But
Simon pissed me off more than Nameless Puppet.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
By like a good degree more. He felt like more bullshit. Whereas Nameless Puppet, I was like, all right, that's all me. But like with with Simon, I definitely did not feel that way. I was like, this is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, almost like a whole arena wide AoEs he was doing and then setting you up for like 1 million projectiles. Yeah. I was
Simon,
like,
Simon wasn't easy, but he took me like 5-6 tries at most, right?
Really? Oh,
whereas Nameless Puppet 10 to 15 for sure. If like maybe slightly more, maybe 18. Like there was something about the second phase of Nameless Puppet. Like I got the first phase of Nameless Puppet down to a science where I was like, I can take no damage or one hit. You know what I mean? Like I could take one hit basically in the first phase. Sure. And then there were just so many things in the second phase where I was just like, this just does too much. This does too much damage to me. Like, but I got really mad. I actually got in trouble for how mad I got. I was like being a little too. I was like, fuck this fucking piece of shit game. Like, how can they do this? You know, like constantly, like under my breath. I'm just like, dude, actually, sorry. I have to say though, and this is indicative of the whole game to me. The choice to have Geppetto talk under the entire fucking fight constantly was enraging. Like,
does he do that?
He's always talking. He doesn't stop talking.
Oh Jesus!
He's
was
like,
your shit bugged?
Maybe
I
it was
don't
bugged.
remember that.
he'll be like, I remember there were certain things he would say, like.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Like he would just be like, give up, just give up, and give the heart to the, you know, whatever. And then like I remember as soon as you'd enter the second phase, he'd get even more mad. And I always remember the first thing he would say because it would like I'd be so tired of hearing it because as soon as you get in the second phase, he goes, "How dare you? Like, how dare you stand up to me? You know, you're just a puppet." Like all this stuff. Like he talks under the whole fucking fight, which is easily the worst part. And you it's
hear
the
the
same
other
lines.
people from the hotel too.
You do, which also annoys me. I don't need that. I'm trying to focus. It really bugged me. It really, really, really bugged me. They should have done it in the area leading up to the final two fights, where it like cuts in. You know what I mean? Like the dialogue of the people from the hotel or whatever. Rather than. Or like, remember that long elevator ride down? You beat Simon, and then you have that huge elevator ride down from where you fight him to the bottom where Geppetto is. Put all the people's voices in there. What the fuck are you guys doing? I mean, there's like a 2-minute elevator ride where you're not thinking about anything. Just fucking, I don't know. But that to me is like indicative of this game, which is that it's really good. They just didn't think about some things hard enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall the game in and of itself was fantastic, though.
It's a great game. I really liked it. The areas are really well designed. I think overall the game is like kind of too easy until you get to a certain part, and then it feels punishingly difficult.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Actually, I think there are like multiple times in that game where it fluctuates a bit too much.
Yeah,
between far too easy and then like just I don't know, dick smashingly fucking hard for what seems to be like no reason.
Yeah, like the last 2-3 areas is like ridiculously challenging, where pretty much any enemy can kill you like in a couple hits. Especially me, I was a dexterity scumbag, so I used the katana.
Oh yeah, I actually ended up switching to the katana.
Fucking great weapon, dude. The moveset of that weapon is amazing.
Yeah.
You should play Lies of P, Crossley. I don't know if anybody's told you that, but
play it when I'm ready, man. It's one of those games, and I don't know. It's just one of those games where I don't want to force myself to play it, even if I'm going to enjoy it when I do sit down and play it. If I'm not in the mood for it, making myself sit down and do it is not going to be a good thing. I'm going to get to something I don't like, and then I'm going to get actually fucking pissed and probably never finish it. So I just know one day I'll be in the mood for that kind of experience, and I'll be at the fucking first bonfire after the first boss waiting. One day.
Definitely a rare sight to see phenomenal Souls-like come out though.
Very well done. I'd like to see them not I don't want to really spoil anything, but they do tease some continuation of that universe at the end. I'd like to see a totally different universe from them, to be honest. I mean, as interesting as it is, I think I'd like to see something else. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I didn't really connect with the core themes are neat and interesting, like about identity and, you know, the, you know, the puppets, the robot, you know, the soul of what it means to exist and like what it means to be a person, right?
Yeah.
I think that stuff is cool. But
Are you a puppet?
I was a human at the end. I mean, you're still a puppet, but
Does the line matter?
That's kind of the point of the game. Is it's like what really makes a human, right? Like by the end, are you a human? You know?
Yeah, they ask you point blank. They're like, "Are you a human?" And I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah, dude."
Yeah.
I did a lot of the side content as well. Oh man, I'm sorry, we got to move on, but the character storylines pretty good like overall, and they do a lot better job of telling you where to go and what to do than in Souls games, which I really appreciate. It's like the one thing that's unequivocally better than Souls games. However, oh my fucking god, I got to what I thought was the end of a few of these. I was like, damn, I swear to God, like I did everything. And I looked it up later when I was done with the game. It turns out so like, I'll use the weapon shop lady as an example. There is a character who you find out was, because he's dead before the game even starts, but you find out that a popular character in the universe was her brother. You can tell her this only if you've done something in the exact right order, which I didn't do. I had an item in my inventory that I needed to take to someone and have that confirmed for me, but I had already put it together in my head as the player. So I went to talk to her, only to get to the moment where you have two dialogue options and it's timed and you can't back out, and it wasn't one of the two options. So I was like, oh, I'll just go back and tell her now that I've, you know, whatever. Because it basically says like, oh, he died a long time ago and was killed by the fake one is what you can tell him. Tell her. I didn't get the achievement because turns out that's not the technical right ending. You have to go talk to an NPC about what you found out so the game can spoon feed you the answer. So then you can go and tell her. You're not allowed to go back after you've done it already. So because I told her that he died, I was just locked out of that achievement for that playthrough. Even though I did all of the steps all the way up to the very end and just picked the option at the end that I thought made the most sense, only to find out that I can't then go back and tell her. So it basically wrapped up that storyline. That made me so fucking angry because I wanted to hear the dialogue. I wanted to see all of it, and I just didn't get to because the way they designed it has no wiggle room, which is really stupid. Like, even Souls likes don't even Souls games don't do that, where it's like just because you pick a dialogue option, you get locked out of content. You know what I mean? Like, it's just really weird.
I feel like they definitely do, but it still sucks.
When? Like, give me an example, because I couldn't think of one.
Specifically, I couldn't tell you one, but I feel like that's definitely a thing in Souls games where it's like, if you go and do this first, you're not going to be able to go do this with that other character now.
Yes.
Like, that is absolutely a thing.
Yes, but it's like a whole like thing. Like, if you go
I guess I don't
do
understand
something.
Your example from Liza P, but I just...
Okay.
To say that Souls games don't do that is absolutely wrong. They do that a lot.
I figured something out as the player. I went back to tell a character what I figured out to have the conversation. We have the conversation without that being a dialogue option I can pick. Boom, done. It's already too late. It's wrapped up the end of that character's story by me just even having the conversation. Then I'm going through my inventory and I see I have an item related to that conversation. I go and I talk to somebody and it says, yo, this person's your brother. And I was like, well, I already fucking knew that. So I go back to that character. I was like, I thought I already knew that, but it wasn't an option when I talked to her. Go back to that character to talk to her. Oh, because I hadn't decoded that item before. Now I couldn't do it.
No, I understand.
So if I had flipped that order of operations, had I decoded that item that was in my inventory and then talked to her, that was the correct way to do it. Because I did it in reverse, they're punishing me.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit. It's total bullshit. I absolutely hate that. I absolutely hate that. It made me really grumpy.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Clearly I care.
I definitely did not run into that. But that shit is always incredibly fucking irritating in any game.
All right.
Especially coming off of like things like Baldur's Gate, where it seems like they did shit like that so fucking well.
Yeah, like if you figure it out later, just let you go and have the conversation, which Baldur's Gate definitely would have done, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, hey, remember
as long as
earlier
the
when I
person's
said
still alive?
Exactly, right? Like, hey, remember earlier when I said this? Actually, it turns out this guy's your brother. Oh shit, like, why not? What's the harm in that?
It just takes more energy, takes more like thought. That's really all there is to it.
It seems like they want you to do a New Game Plus playthrough as well. Like there's no way to get all of the weapons and items and stuff in one playthrough. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it does seem like they want you to do that. But anyway, it's relatively short. It's like 30 hours. So I can understand like, okay, go do it again. But anyway, I liked the puppet serial killer. That's the last thing I'll say.
Oh yeah,
it was really cool.
Yeah, you got to see him.
Yeah,
that shit's fucking neat.
Yeah,
I'm glad you got there. Yeah, that game has some neat stuff in it. I like it.
It's cool. Good combat system. Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty. Crossley, tell me about it.
It's really good. Merced played it too.
Did he?
I like it a lot. I need to finish it. Yep.
Yep. I think it's great. I think as someone who,
yeah, I did.
Huh.
Yes, as someone who played the who didn't play the original, but ended up basically playing Cyberpunk once Phantom Liberty did come out. Yeah, it's great. It feels fully packaged.
Cool.
If you were delaying it for that reason, then now's the time to jump into it. It feels great. It's a great game.
Nice. Yeah, that's something that I really should get back into now. I don't know why. Well, actually, I do know why. It's because I'm forcing myself to play through the whole game again. I say forcing for no reason other than I think that game's a little long for what I remember. But I'm playing through the base game and getting up to Phantom Liberty, which is going to take a long time. So I kind of just fell off of it. Counter-Strike 2.
It's Counter-Strike.
Yep.
I agree.
Good game.
It's great. It's good.
It's really good.
Yep. It's fun.
Trepang 2 came out in October. I like that game.
Oh yeah. I want to play that game.
Hopefully, okay. My internet went out. I just came back, I think.
Oh, okay. Welcome back.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about anything that you want to talk about, so no worries.
Yeah, I think Trepang seems like it would be really good.
Trepang, yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know. Oh wait, no, Crossley, you did play Phantom Liberty. Did you want to talk about that really quick? I just thought you didn't have anything to say.
I don't have much to say. It's more Cyberpunk. I like it. Idris Elba did really well. I think the forced stealth stuff is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems strange that it's like a very stealthy DLC at times when that's not like a main thing in the rest of the game, really. It's kind of tackle it how you want, whereas there are at least a handful of points in the DLC where it's like, no, you have to stealth this, even if it's just for a moment, and then you can like decide to not be stealthy and do whatever. But I don't know. That was it. Not even really a negative. I just thought that was a weird choice, but I like it a lot. Really good.
Good game.
Did you play it, Chandler?
No.
Oh, weird.
No, because I was playing through the whole game again, so fell off of it a little bit. But I'm gonna get back to it. It's something that I keep forgetting because there's just so much good shit that came out this year. Forza Motorsport. I'll just say this: I think that game's pretty good. Could have been better, honestly. In a lot of ways, I think the way that they do the story mode is a bit lacking compared to even past Forza games. But from what I understand, as somebody who did not play the new Gran Turismo, that game does it a lot better. At least frames things out in a more interesting way. So, I like racing games. Lords of the Fallen. I don't think anybody played it, but I intend to. That's October 13th. We are now, I think, kind of getting to some of the heavy hitters here to wrap up the end of the year. Marvel Spider-Man 2, October 20th.
Oh yeah.
Did you play that, Crossley?
I played the fuck out of that game. It was really good, honestly. I was very pleasantly surprised. I thought it would just be more Spider-Man 1. To at least like kind of in my mind, I was like, this would probably be my like God of War Ragnarok kind of feeling where it's like kind of the same thing again, but the narrative is probably going to carry me a little bit. But this is like a much better game than its predecessor. Very, very good. The sound design, graphics, gameplay, everything is so top of the line S tier. Insomniac fucking killed it. Like, they are such good game designers. I can't believe it. They are some of my favorite people that make games right now, for sure.
Even the Mary Jane parts.
Yeah, they're the weakest parts of the game again, but they're actually good this time. I mean, finger quotes good, but you basically have a like stun gun that can one shot enemies. So you just, I don't know, it's stupid, but yeah, good game. I know you guys. Sorry.
No. You've said we didn't play it. Is that what you're gonna say?
No, I said I know you guys don't like hella give a fuck about like Spider-Man lore the way I do, but so they do this thing with the skill trees where at some point Peter Parker gets the Venom symbiote and like gets Venom powers, and so you get a whole thing of the skill tree that's all Venom powers. And I remember thinking to myself, I was like, okay, well, any story with Venom is going to involve me not having Venom at some point because I'm the good guy, right? Like, I'm not going to become the bad guy. So I'm like, how are they going to deal with that and me spending all my level up points on skills that I'm eventually not going to have? And yeah, all I'll say is they fucking found the answer to that problem in a way I never expected that makes sense within like Spider-Man lore. So nice. Essentially, you get to keep Venom powers in a way that makes sense, and it was so fucking badass. That's cool. That's all I want to say. They fucking nailed it. Yeah,
that's great. I really have no reason not to play that game other than I just haven't played the middle chapter.
Yeah,
Miles Morales. I haven't played it yet. So
yeah, I was re-listening to our podcast where you talk about playing the first Spider-Man, and honestly, I didn't remember you enjoying it as much as you were saying that you were at the time.
I really liked it. Yeah.
So you absolutely need to play 2 eventually. Miles Morales is very good and very short, so definitely knock that out. But yeah, I think you'll really like 2 a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
I platinumed the first one, and yeah, absolutely loved it. I think the DLC is where that game became a lot weaker, to be honest.
Yeah, the DLC is dog shit. Don't even talk about that.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder came out on the same day, October 20th. I don't like this game personally. I don't know. I mean, I didn't play enough of it to make a hard judgment on it, but it didn't do it for me in a lot of ways. So
it's a good 2D Mario game. I think that's like almost like a I don't know, like it's like an old lost language that nobody uses anymore, but people still appreciate and learn sometimes.
Sure.
And it feels like some people learned that language and then like, wrote a song in that language or something. It's just like, okay, yeah, that's that fucking ancient language, and this is a new take on it. But I don't know. I think where the game falls short is that it is a 2D Mario game, and that is just fucking dated. Whereas this is probably the best 2D Mario game, and it is really good and really fun. It is still like holding itself back just innately. Turns out we don't want to play 2D Mario games anymore, right?
A lot of people do, but I'm not one of them.
That's true.
I mean, it got very glowing reviews, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure it sold really well.
I thought it was intensely. Oh, it did. It sold like
Yeah.
fucking insanely well.
Yeah. I bet it did. And I honestly think it is a good video game. It's just like, if I'm trying to sort of pinpoint why I haven't played it to completion or what I actually don't like about it, because I do genuinely think it's a good game, it must just be that the foundation of the game is a 30-year-old plus game, right? Like 30, 40, 50, whatever it is. Like its fucking structure is ancient. We've played this game a million times. Yes, it's shiny and new and has new features, but like the game itself has existed literally since before we were alive.
Yeah. I end up not enjoying 2D platformers much. At least ones that aren't like Metroidvanias as well.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Same.
When Silk Song.
True.
God damn it, dude. So...
I will say Sorry, yeah. Mario Wonder is much better on shrooms.
Oh,
it's a way better experience while you're tripping.
Why should Mario get to have all the mushrooms? Like, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Merced, you were a big Ghost Runner 1 fan. Did you play Ghost Runner 2?
No. That's
October
actually
26th.
I should definitely thank you for reminding me. I need to put that on my list.
Wasn't that one like poorly received? Did it have like performance issues or something?
It's possible. Yeah, news to me, but it is possible.
I might be mixing it up with something.
Yeah, Ghost Runner 1 is amazing. I need to get at Ghost Runner 2.
Alan Wake 2.
This
amazing game.
That's great.
Amazing game.
It's great.
Absolutely mind-blowing.
Now, would you say, without spoiling it, would you say like a large portion of your enjoyment of the game was the full narrative?
I really like the gameplay as well, which is different from how I felt about Alan Wake 1, which I think had okay gameplay, like serviceable gameplay. I think the style of game that they've made with Alan Wake 2, which is essentially like a Resident Evil remake, Resident Evil 2 remake type of game, serves the style really well, serves the type of game really well. There's a lot of issues as well with it, namely, a lot of people complain about the detective board. Doesn't bother me that much, but I get it, why it's not the most exciting thing. I think I like the exploration and going back and like backtracking and checking over areas that I've already been to, so it doesn't really bother me. But there are some gameplay problems with it for sure that I think a lot of people can't get over, I guess. Why is that? Do you fall into that category?
No, I was just curious because I need to finish the game.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if like you would say that like just the story in and of itself and like, you know, actually completing it and the development of the story like was what really increased your enjoyment of it.
Yeah.
Because I agree. I think the gameplay is phenomenal.
I'll say this. It's a pretty melancholy ending, and it's not a cliffhanger per se, but there's room for more.
Okay.
A lot more, actually. It almost seems like they intend to do more, whether it's another Alan Wake or they wrap this into Control in a deeper way.
Expand the universe, more.
But I could see Control 2 being the next game they release, and there being a large portion of Alan Wake stuff.
I would love that
in it. But
I think Control's underrated. So
yeah, I didn't like Control very much, but I do think that it's worth seeing through. There's like a lot of stuff that happens in this game that I think is really cool. Even if the ending of the game doesn't pay off everything, you do get a lot of explanation and a lot of stuff to chew on. Supposedly they did add some things. I read about what they added in the new game plus, and it's really cool, but I don't think it justifies me going back through it again.
Okay.
But I'd like them to do some DLC. Honestly, I think they could really, which they do.
They probably will.
Yeah, they normally do that. So,
like all their games have DLC, except for maybe Quantum Break.
Yeah, which that game, yeah. Oof. 31st of October is Jusant, which we already talked about. I need to finish that probably sometime in the next couple weeks. RoboCop Rogue City, November 2nd. I have played about an hour of that. I will continue to play it. I'll say that. Decently fun. This is, in my opinion, where we start to run out of stuff. So you get Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, on November 9th, which people
supposed to be really good.
Really like. Yeah, I mean, it's cool that they're having a lot of success with that franchise because I think those games are really awesome.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3 on November 10th, which I didn't play. I've heard pretty bad things. Probably will play it eventually when it's like on super sale. Yeah, I'm starting to kind of hit stuff that I didn't play but was at least vaguely interested in. So like Persona 5 Tactica seemed neat as an idea. I'm kind of done with Persona 5 Universe, to be honest. I feel like I've seen enough of it. I don't really need any more, but it's a cool concept. Super Mario RPG, which is a remake of, the original one on Super Nintendo. It was Super Nintendo, right? Yeah. That game's cool. It looks really cool. I kind of wanted to play it. I just haven't had time. It looked funny. Like the writing is funny. I never played the original.
I would definitely be down to play it. I just wish all of Nintendo's games weren't so goddamn fucking expensive.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I wish they had a burger pass.
Dude, they should have a burger pass. What the
That'd be
fuck?
really nice.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
The fact
that would be the company to get one for.
Yeah,
it really
seriously.
would. It really would.
Fuck.
Yeah. You really they would only need to offer first party games and it would already be worth it.
Yeah. Give me your fucking burger pass, Nintendo.
Chandler, if you have another name in mind, it's fine, but can we call it Burger Pass?
I think Burger Pass is it. Yeah, I'm gonna say. Wrapping up here. We're in December.
Not
much left.
You did skip over Star Ocean. I don't know if you just didn't care that much to talk about it.
You're right. Where was that? Was that October?
It was the 10th of November.
10th of November. Did I totally miss that?
Was it 10th of November?
It's actually not even on this list.
Oh, was it earlier than that?
It was in November. I forget when.
I just saw it.
Yeah, it's actually not on this list. Damn, dude. Fuck you.
It came out on the 2nd. So Star Ocean Second Story R.
Of November? Is that what it was?
Yep.
I've actually played a lot of that game.
Yeah.
I probably played like maybe 15-ish hours or so. I think that game's great. It's a remake of an old game, so a lot of people already know that game's good. I think they did a really good job with the art. I think they did a really good job. It's the Octopath style of kind of more realistic graphics and 2D sprites over top. I think it's cool. Honestly, I think it's really cool. I'm enjoying the story is engaging enough to keep you going. The character writing, it's anime-ish in its quality, but in a way that's like really refreshing. The characters do not allow any amount of room for misunderstanding. There's like very little like anime like misunderstanding arcs, if that makes sense. Like there's not like characters like being mad at each other and not talking about it. Like people like clear the air about shit. You know what I mean? Like it just seems that's really cool. For a game about teenagers saving the world, it feels very adult, which is nice. Don't get me wrong, it's not an amazing story or anything, but it's well done enough to keep you going. And then the characters are very well written, very well realized. I like the diversity of the party, like different viewpoints, different backgrounds. A lot of interesting. The gameplay is it starts off interesting enough and pretty challenging, and stays challenging. It got really hard at a certain point, and I actually turned it down from normal to easy. There's only 3 difficulties: easy, normal, and hard. And normal at a certain point was like, I'm not a JRPG person really, and I do not know how to min-max, and it felt like certain bosses, they expect you to know to do that.
Yeah.
Not for me. I was like, I'm just seeing this through, brother. So I bumped it down to easy and bump it back up during normal dungeons. And then if I hit a roadblock, I just bump it because they let you do it on the fly. They let you do it whenever you want. So like lose to a boss a few times and then just switch it to easy. What's up?
Yeah, that's something I do a few times in a Final Fantasy VII Remake. It had some like insane difficulty spikes out of nowhere, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck.
I got nothing to prove.
I'm not about to sit here for fucking hours. Yeah, trying to figure out the best way to do this.
The minute to minute mechanics of these games do not interest me enough to spend a bunch of time figuring that shit out. Like I would in a Lies of P or a Souls game or something, but.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's honestly, I think it's a good game. If you like Japanese role playing games at all, I recommend giving it a shot because I think it has a lot of the best aspects of those games and realizes them in a really good way. I do intend to finish it. I've been playing it on the Steam Deck, and I think it's perfect on that thing. If the battery life on that thing was better, I think it would be a great experience. Fully recommend it. They have a really cool system called personal moments or private moments or something like that, where every so often if you arrive in a new town, or basically anytime you end up in a town, you should flip that on because it'll constantly change. So the way they do character development is it's all pretty much optional, and it helps you build your bond with the characters. So it'll just pop up a little icon on the mini map that says, hey, there's a personal moment here. And then you just go there and hit it, and it'll be, two characters interacting. And it's cool. I like that they just do that. You can do as much or as little of it as you want. If you like the characters, you could do it more. I've been doing every one that I could find because I think it's fun. And it breaks up the gameplay of, the dungeon crawling. They do not do random battles. They're the battles, it'll be more modern RPG style where you'll see the enemy you gotta avoid them or walk into them. Exactly. Yeah. Which I think is the best way to do it, in my opinion.
For sure.
Good game. Yeah. Star Ocean Second R, or whatever. What's it called?
Yeah. Second Story R.
Second Story R. Cool game. I like it. We are nearly done. At least according to this list, which is apparently leaving shit off. December 7th, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Did not play it.
Shit, I didn't play that either.
Fucking Digital Foundry gave that game their best technical graphics of the year, which impressed me.
Interesting. I guess that's apt, huh?
Yeah. Same day, Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, which I would like to play. What's weird? The finals is not on here either, but I haven't played the finals a full release yet either. But you guys can tell me about that. Just really quickly, Rogue Trader is, I hear, having a lot of success because it is a traditional CRPG game in the Warhammer universe. Because Baldur's Gate 3 turned on a lot of people to that genre. Rogue Trader seems like a really good one of those, and it's seeing a lot of success because of that. I think that's awesome. I think that's cool. I really like those style of games. Most of the time they're really long, so that sucks. But yeah. Tell me about the finals really quick. You like it?
It's a good game.
Great.
It's got that sort of arcadey feel. It's a multiplayer FPS. But it's got an arcadey feel to it. And the teams are only 3 people. So it's with a max of 4 teams total. So the maximum amount of people that's in a game is 12. But it does not fucking feel that way with all the destruction and everything. Everything's fully destructible. So things get hectic, incredibly fast. You never actually feel like there's only 12 people to a map. It's wild to even think that that's actually how it is. But yeah, the game just runs off of getting money, bringing it to a bank. If you kill someone while they're holding money, they drop all that money. You get to pick it up, and first team to, I think, what is it, 45,000?
40.
Some number, some high number, but first team to get to a certain amount wins. And then of course you have like classes, quote unquote. So you have the medium body, the heavy body, and the lightweight body. Lightweight body moves really fast, lowest health. Heavy body moves the slowest, highest health. And yeah, they're locked to different gadgets, different weapons for those play styles. Verticality is a big deal in that game, so there's a ton of fucking movement. Yeah, it's and it's all done incredibly well. Made by the same people who made Bad Company 2. They're ex-Dice devs. So the destructibility and everything is on fucking point. It just works. It's great. It's good fun. It's fast paced. High time to kill. If you don't like that, if you're not used to it, go suck a dick. It's very good whenever it comes to team based shooters, and this is very team oriented. So very fun.
Yeah, I played a little bit of the beta and liked it. I need to get back into it. The destructibility is really what I think drew me in, but it turns out it's just a really satisfying loop. So
yeah, it is.
Feels good.
Leads to a lot of very cinematic moments too. A lot of cinematic moments that are very, very cool. Yeah, I would recommend anyone who likes multiplayer shooters to try it out.
I think the last thing here on the list, Ready or Not, December 13th.
Yeah. Protect and serve.
What else is there to say about this fucking gem of a game?
We do not condone the existence of police. However, no.
It's a great game.
It is a good game.
It is. Yeah,
it's I feel like Ready or Not is one of those things that should it's a lot of people liken it to the SWAT franchise, which makes sense because it feels a lot like that. But the thing that it nails is the doing this with your friends for better or for worse, usually for worse. Because like not in terms of fun, but in terms of execution, like it becomes a lot harder not having AI as your backup. Just relying entirely on each other. It's so fucking loud that they nailed the sound design. The core loop of the gameplay is really, really, really satisfying. Replaying maps, trying to do things better.
And the 1.0 update was substantial and very amazing.
Yep.
Incredible launch.
100% agreed. Yeah, it's really impressive level of fidelity and detail, and I think it's hard to imagine what they could be doing better, I guess. Like really the thing,
maybe performance, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I mean like engine, like technical performance could be improved, because it looks good. It doesn't look amazing, so but it does look good. But I think it's one of those games where the only thing holding it back is the amount of content it has. Like it literally just needs more stuff, and then you can just keep playing it. Like it's an amazing game.
For sure. I mean, they've already started adding in like the locked and unlocked content aspect of it too. So like you can start to actually like unlock equipment, which gives you something to play for. But I mean, shit, the game is so damn good. We put, I don't even know how many hours into it whenever there wasn't even anything to unlock. It was just, you play the game for fun. Imagine that. But yeah.
I know. Really fucking good game.
Mm-hmm.
It occurred to me that we did skip over something because it wasn't on my list that was there. So that list sucks ass. Lethal Company. October 23rd.
Yeah.
Same, everything we just said about Ready or Not is also true for Lethal Company. Literally everything.
Sound design especially.
Yeah.
Sound design in that game is so clever and so fucking funny. Like
absolutely.
Holy shit.
Absolutely amazing. Fantastic game, and hard to criticize pretty much anything about it. There's a few things, but I mean, realistically, it's the same deal. It just needs more content, and it'll be great.
Yeah.
So, Okay, that ran pretty long.
Yes.
um, you know what though? I mean, this means that
There's a lot to talk
the
about.
game of the year podcast can be even shorter. Am I right, everybody? We've said everything we got to say. No, I'm kidding. Probably not, knowing us. But we're gonna wrap it up. Appreciate everybody for listening. I'm excited to do our game of the year stuff. I'll send out some categories to you two here, and we'll make some picks and then do a top 5 list. It'll be fun.
All right.
Oh yeah.